everybody, and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will, I'm D&D Sex Icon, and we're back today on yet another episode of Sands of Zehir. And we have almost everyone's here today, except from Still, who will be out for today, but back next week, so fear not. But we've got the rest of the cast and crew here today to head back into this wonderful campaign. We have our very own Dungeon Master, Strider Heap, back with us tonight to lead us into the realms of Ard Alahara. How you doing, Strider?
Doing well. The internet, on the other hand, is a little janky. Try and write it out. Should be smoothing out now, though.
Nice.
Just reset the router. It's a little... but yeah, we should be good to go.
Nice. I'm sure I'll pick up throughout. Well, awesome. Let's go around the cast and crew. Let's figure out who we are, who we're playing. Let's start with James. Our own James Haig with us today. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing great. My name is James Hake, and I'll be playing a character named Qual the Black Rose. He is a human shadow sorcerer who is currently a little bit pissed off that this cult of Zehir infesting the desert has profaned the good name of the shadows that he reveres. So he's got a bit of a grudge against those guys.
Yeah, those guys are dicks. Amazing. Amazing. In fact, Irvin starts off with a donation here. Let's start off with a construct battle. A Shabti attacked the party. You remember when those fucking bad guys from before attacked us? Yeah, this is going to be another one of those weeks, guys. We had a good week last week, which means another bad week of donations this week. I mean, it's the karmic balance of chat. Thanks so much, Irvin. We also have Charlie with us today. Charlie, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Will?
I am well. I am very well, thank you.
I'm back this week, and I'm playing Sienna/Sunny, who is a tomb robber rogue, who is very sad that we haven't had any new treasure lately, but was just witness to the assassination of a king, so you know.
Win some, you lose some.
Priorities.
Yeah. It is what it is. Incredible. We also have, returning to us, we have Zippy Zippo back. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just trying to get over like a throat cold right now. I'm playing Shallot Weatherfields, the eldest. And I apparently went into a coma. So let's see how that works.
Amazing. As for myself, I'll be returning as Morsan, the Tiefling Ranger, who secretly loves Charlotte and was very worried about him last week, but won't let anyone know about that. He's also on the hunt of this assassin last week and has just witnessed the murder of a king. So things are definitely hotting up here in the sands of Zehir. That's before we remind ourselves what happened last week, because it was pretty damn eventful last episode, I have to say. Quick shout out to our sponsors, D&Dice.co.uk, they help keep the show going. They're not Strider Heap. That's you. You can go get 5% off all of their dice there. They keep all of these shows going every single day here on Encounter Roleplay, so check them out. Get 5% off all their dice. And go show them off to your friends. It's under a week until Valentine's Day, guys, so get them quick. You know, you gotta show that special someone that special die. Am I right? Show them that D. Also, you can interact with today's show. If you haven't followed yet, hit the follow button and join us. We hit 30 followers in a couple of minutes' time here. You guys get to decide something which happens next in the show. We are the D&D mystery gang, really, at the moment, and we've got plenty of mysteries to uncover today. You guys can help out with that. Also, here is the tweets for you guys, 20 retweets, and we'll have another viewer decision on this game as well. You can, of course, donate to affect the game, give players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, and, of course, the new fun table of bad things. Exclamation point bad things will take you to a new table of 100 potentially bad things that can happen. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are very, very bad. But they're all fun. So that's what's going on this month today, the table of bad things. But I'll hand it over.
Why would you encourage them like that?
Is that the world promise that some of them are fun?
I snuck in a few good ones. I promise, guys.
I want to see some bad things.
There's a couple of good ones, I promise. But let's remind ourselves what happened last week. Strider, do you want to talk us through a little bit? Looks like your internet is stabilized nicely here.
Good.
About what happened previously on Sands of Zehir.
Last time on Sands of Zehir.
Saturday morning enemy.
Yes, last time the party arrived in slightly off, a little city on the shoreline named Citadel. Our poor gnome Shallot was poisoned. He was touched by the desert's taint, inflicted with shadow, and Shallot was rendered unconscious. He was whisked away to go be healed. When the rest of the party discovered that Jericho, their friend from the desert, had packed city-leveling bombs inside all of their backpacks, they were able to disarm them and throw them into a conveniently placed bag of holding. But then they recalled Shallot. He had a backpack. He had one of these bombs. And now he has been whisked away. We need to go save him. There was some hijinks. They ran up to the castle. Shallot is still unconscious. And the king was assassinated right in front of their eyes. The party chased the assassin down into the sewers. They finally caught up to him. And Syndra, our missing player today, ran up and put him in a headlock. Never the best idea. So today, we are going to start where all good sessions start. Blackness. The ether of sleep. Shallot, you are lucid dreaming. In the aspect that you know that you're dreaming, anyway. Everything around you is blackness. You're suspended in the void. You can't tell if you're falling, ascending, or sitting completely still. It's an oddly real feeling lucid dream. Your mental faculties are all about you, and your tactile senses are responding as if you were awake. You can feel your hands, your skin, and in fact, it's broiling in here. It's worse than the sun-baked desert. You instinctively bristle, and your hair stands on end as that all too familiar feeling of being watched washes over you. Turning your head around in the darkness, you see something no more than 10 feet away. It's a silhouette. It looks like a wagon wheel, 8 spokes, and a single pair of dark reddish-brown eyes floating in front of the wheel, squinting at you. It's mumbling, talking in a language you don't quite understand. It sounds like winds whispering by your ears, echoes in the swirling blackness. But you can catch the words. Safaldin, Zehir.
Safaldin Zehir. Why don't you come out from the shadows and show yourself?
The wheel kind of bobs up and down as if it was walking, but you are privy just to the wheel and a pair of eyes as they approach. His words are garbled, as if they're being whisked away by rushing winds. The heathen dares speak to me. You get the feeling that he's not talking to you, but about you.
I draw my my ram-headed staff, and I say, "Yes, I do speak to you. I do not fear what lies in the dark. This is not the first time I've dealt with creatures such as yourself."
He starts pacing, walking around you in a circle. This is when you realize you're suspended in the darkness. You can kind of flap your arms a little bit and try to turn, but it's difficult. You have nothing you're standing on. The voice continues. Me? I'm an emissary of Zehir. I am the prophet of the Safaldin. You do not speak to one of my standing like this.
I look at him, and I am an emissary of Margor. And you will not speak to me like this, lest I tear you to sunder.
The walking doesn't stop, constant circling like a wolf circling prey. He thinks to himself for a minute. You have survived the gift that Zehir bestowed upon you, at least for now. Perhaps you may be of some use to me after all.
Really? And why would I negotiate with a creature like you?
You think, friend, you have a choice in the matter. And when he says that, his eyes narrow even more. And he kind of perks up and looks behind you, and another voice breaks the ether, a sort of hysterical, sobbing laughter. There's a frenzied voice. Zehir! The second those words are spoken, like ink being dropped into water, the image of the man in front of you stretches and distorts and starts to fade away. The blackness around you starts crumbling to daylight. Where the brown eyes were moments before, now a pair of large golden slitted eyes. Hot steam, breath, a hooked beak nipping at your nose. You are face to face with Owlicious. You seem to be lying down in some kind of bed.
Oh boy, I need to stop drinking that whatever the thing that Jericho gives me, because now it makes me hallucinate about dark creatures. Wait a minute. Wasn't I dying?
Aloysius, what's that noise you're making? Why are you chirping?
You are not here. You are down in the sewers, and we will get to you in a minute.
Okay.
Just enjoy the last few seconds you have alive.
I look at Ollie, and I say, "All right, well, let's go see where our friends dumped me this time." He like hops off the bed and he starts shuffling around.
You were in a small room, more of a broom closet. There is a window with red curtains over it. Right next to you, as you kind of push your owl bear, Ollie, to the side and try to sit up, you're face to face with another bigger hooked beak and more yellow eyes. You are a learned man, so you can place this thing as an extraordinarily large griffin face to face with you, snorting and sniffing at you inquisitively.
Shallot takes his staff and he like bonks it on the beak. No, that's not very nice. I just woke up from a fever dream and you're in my face.
It bristles and honks. It looks like it's considering pecking you. A voice speaks out. Helia, be good, don't do that. Looking around this little broom closet, it's some kind of makeshift chapel. You're in here alone. There's 2 chairs, a little bedroll put up in the doorway, and a little font of water that kind of serves as an altar. There's a man washing his hands in the glowing light within. And he doesn't turn around. He's a young man, human, blonde. He's talking out to this griffin, apparently named Helia. Helia is still not sure about you.
I keep an eye on the griffin as I kind of like sidle over to this human. So, who are you?
Oh, me? No one of import. I'm a psychic, you see. Your name is Shallot.
Whoa! I am genuinely surprised that you know that.
I am yanking your chain. I am a friend helping out. Your friends dropped you off here. And as he pulls his hands out of this light, you see, similar to the squirming darkness that was on your body before, he has little black shadows. They look kind of like snakes wriggling up and down his hands. And he kind of furrows his brow and sticks them back into the light and starts scrubbing at his skin again.
I like lift up and look into the font. So, yeah. Are you the one who healed me?
Yes, friend, and you have been out for many, many weeks. No, I'm just fucking with you.
Fantastic. Oh,
I'm fucking with you again. No, about 24 hours, I'd say.
Oh, wonderful. And do you know where my compatriots are?
They are having dinner with the king right now.
What? Nobody woke me for dinner with the king? Oh.
There's a rumbling in the ground. Dust falls from the cracks in the ceiling, the masonry, as the castle kind of settles. This blonde-haired young boy looks up. That's not normal. My name's Robin, by the way.
Shallot, Wilbur, Walla Walla, Thaddeus Weatherfields.
That is one hell of a name.
That is one hell of a name. But so what's going on with the castle above?
No idea. Probably a raucous dinner party. I'll take you down.
Wonderful. And he kind of jumps onto Robin's back, kind of like Yoda backpack style. Onward.
Robin flails his arm, splashes in the font, maybe curses a couple times. And we are going to cut to the rest of the party. You guys don't see sunlight. You guys are in the sewers. The last thing that happened, Syndra rushes forth, puts this man in a headlock, and he starts struggling. Casper Gwyn, the Red Knight of Legend, steps around the corner. This man starts crying to himself in a frantic, hysterical laugh. Zehir! And the moment he does, the whites of his eyes disappear. The black, wriggling snake tattoos on his body swarm. They start growing. You can see them crawling up onto Syndra's arms. She doesn't let go, but she is surprised. Them being kept at bay by the little white light tattoos on Syndra. Black ooze starts pouring out of this guy's mouth, down his chin. And Casper, with huge eyes, whispers to the rest of you, "Run!"
We can't just leave you down here. Our friend, Syndra.
Yeah, our friend. And that guy's scary and made of snakes.
Friend.
Listen, she hasn't tried to kill us lately.
Fine. Acquaintance.
Okay, we're working on that. Our acquaintance Syndra. Listen, Red Knight of Legend or not, you need to stand with us. We need to take down this thing. Whatever he's doing with our friend, we can't let it happen.
When you mention that, almost as if called to duty, Casper starts pushing her way through you guys, cussing under her breath. Just, idiots. Goddamn idiots. We're all gonna die. She gets to the front. You guys are in this little circular sewer tunnel. She pulls out her little piece of chalk. Luckily, the sewer's dried up here. She draws a circle with one big windmill of her arm. Blackness is seeping out of this guy's eyes, out of his ears, and not so much like a gas or liquid, but he's just spawning a complete and utter lack of light. The darkness has no weight to it. It doesn't float. It doesn't fall to the floor. The light's just being sucked out of the room. Syndra looks nervous.
This is
She's not
bad.
sure She's not sure what's happening. The circle from Casper is completed. Her glove is still missing, and she touches, this time, the middle finger of her tattooed hand down onto the chalk. You guys are blinded as the tunnel just becomes a wall of light. And there's almost a hissing noise moments later, as presumably the darkness and the light are making contact with one another. Casper stands up, looking defeated, and turns around to you. Your friend's dead.
What?
Syndra.
That's not possible.
We're going to be dead too if we don't hurry. Now, that's not normal magic. It will eat the foundation of the land we're standing on. It'll destroy the sewers. It might destroy the castle. We need to hurry. And she's interrupted. A hand collapsing onto the ground pops out of this wall of light. There's blackness and whiteness swirling around on the hand. It's Syndra's. She's trying to crawl forward.
She's alive. Syndra.
Casper's flabbergasted, and she stands there in shock.
Syndra, what happened to you? Are you okay? Look at me. Can you see me? How many fingers am I holding up?
I want to run over and take her hand and like try and pull her.
A strength
Towards
check,
us.
please.
Oh, good. I'm so strong. I'm not strong at all. Do-do-do-do. 18 with no modifier.
You are strong enough. You grab on to her fingers, what little bit of hands showing through the veil. I'm assuming you have gloves on of some kind.
Yeah. Thieves' gloves. No
Yes,
fingerprints.
of course. Your fingerprintless thieves' gloves. Do most gloves have fingerprints?
No.
Most of the gloves I
Not.
buy don't.
Yeah, mine have like fake fingerprints so I can frame other people.
Thinking ahead. With a heave, you're able to grab onto her hand, pull her forward. She seems to be unconscious. At least there's nothing there, a glazed over look on her face. But her muscles, on their own volition, seem to be trying to crawl forward, and you're able to pull her out of this darkness. There's still blackness swelling around her, just almost exactly like Shallot yesterday.
Oh.
Cool, can you do anything to make her lighter? We need to get out of here.
I'm not a healer. Here, let's just carry her. Let's just leave. We've got her. We can go now.
And we try and carry her and run at the same time. Because we got to go back through the Hall of Courtesans, along the thin and narrow ledge, and up through the hole, right?
Yeah. And then there's also the matter of a 30-foot hole in the ceiling you guys gotta
that we
scale
fell
out of.
through.
But you were able to pull Syndra forth, throw her up on your back. She feels warm, even more so than usual, not just her same molten skin. There's almost palpable movement, even though the shadows on her skin are just shadows. It feels like there's snakes wriggling on your back.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Almost as soon as you get ready to go, the light disappears. The blackness is gone, and a little bit of daylight sticking through the end of the tunnel. Where the man was standing, there is a slumped pile. I use the word pile because it doesn't even resemble a corpse. There is some black, melted skin, maybe,
Ew.
smeared over some intestines. There's no bones left. There's nothing. The mortar, the actual copper piping of these sewers is marred. It started to melt. And the little crisscross iron-barred grate at the end of the sewer has all but been disintegrated. But the darkness seems to have dissipated. And you guys are left here with an unconscious Syndra, a pile of steaming organs, and one exasperated Red Knight.
These cultists of Zehir are rotten to the core. They need to be destroyed. We need to find where they're coming from and stamp them out like ants.
Oh, you're new here, aren't you?
I don't see what that has to do with it.
Such ventures have not gone well in the past.
Well, that's fine. I have the shadows to guide me. Certainly that Zehir can't have corrupted my oracle so easily.
Could the shadows help with the lifting?
Oh, can I help her with that strength check?
Of course, you guys can carry Syndra working together.
Yeah,
Casper.
I get in there and I say, the shadows say they're sorry. God, she's heavy!
Casper shakes her head. I know you have good intentions, but be wary of others. Maybe you shouldn't admit that you worship the shadows so easily.
But there's... Fine. Fine.
You guys walk and walk. You walk uphill. It's mostly dry here, and once again, we return to the previous room. The slaves have not moved. The rat people, the cat people, these manacled, wearing big iron collars around their necks and moving things from boxes and assorting things on tables. Freeze, just like the first time you came into the room. They part for you, and they just nervously look at one another.
Is there a faster way up?
Roll me a
I'll just
charisma
yell at a
check.
cat or a rat or a person, whichever is closest. Charisma check. 15.
When your booming voice exits your lips, they all wince and cower. One of them, a little beady-eyed rat person, he's about as tall as Shallot, kind of tries to walk forward on his hands and feet, presumably seeing a way to help these people. Maybe he'll be rewarded. I tell you, up, and no nasty sack.
I have no nasty sack.
You say that, and eyes glance down at the tables and at the boxes around you. Good. No nasty.
No.
He's about to show you which way to go, and the other people start crowding around you, eagerly this time, and all of them start shouting, show you, well, way up, go, no nasty sack, show you up.
Call, help.
Okay. I don't really know what I can do.
Okay, Strider.
Looking around, trying to get some kind of context for what these things are talking about. There's jugs, little containers. They're being put into the boxes. The little containers have some kind of white powder in them. The white powder's in piles on the table. There's little razor blades nearby. They seem to be being measured, sorted, and put away. That's what these people are tasked with. There's little baggies lying around that this powder's going into. And anytime you guys say nasty sack, they take a quick look, eyes flitting to one of those little baggies, nervously, and eagerly awaiting some kind of way to get out of here.
Right, so I know what's going on here, but I'm not convinced that Qual...
I feel like Sienna knows definitely what's going on here, but also Syndra's now getting heavy.
Strider, what did I miss in the past 5 minutes here? There was a white flash of thing down in the sewers.
Casper used her transmutation alchemy tattoos to perform some kind of something to give you guys a little bit of a ward.
Oh.
Syndra came crawling out of the blackness, though the other man was left a steaming pile of intestines. You have crawled back up into the room with tables and boxes and slaves, rat people and cat people.
Yes, the slaves.
The rat people and cat people are sorting some kind of white powdery drugs on tables, looking at little bags, and are begging you not to make them swallow the nasty sack.
Understandable. Perfect. I'm back. I'm immersed. Okay, whoa. I've been out of it for the past 5 minutes or so. That was crazy. What are these cat people putting? What is this white powder?
It looks like some kind of spell component.
Yeah, it looks alchemical. Maybe it's some kind of drug.
A drug? What would these people be doing with drugs?
Everyone has drugs around here. Remember Jericho and that poisonous thing? Basically just drugs.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
It could be similar. It could be a similar compound, or it could be like the white powder in the explosives. Wasn't there a white powder, or did I make that up? I feel like
There was something in the alchemical powder.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was
You're
though.
right.
I think there might have been white powder in that. Is that right, Strider?
Yeah.
There was alchemist fire and an unknown white powder.
Yeah.
If this stuff they're pushing is the same powder or not, that remains to be seen.
Right.
I suggest we didn't see anything here. We're just on our way upstairs with our dear friend who's very heavy.
Wait.
Okay. Yeah, we won't interfere with that nasty sack. Also, I'd
They
like
all
to make a
shudder.
sleight of hand check to pocket one of those baggies.
Go for it.
I enjoy that we're both about to rob these people of their drugs.
Yep. Sometimes that's just the way it do.
Yes, I think maybe it's best
That's
to
a 22.
just head back
Boy.
upstairs for now, and then see if
2-2.
there's explosives.
2-2.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
2D22.
2D22. You are able to grab some.
So
you
as
grab
I'm
one of the-
helping, I'm helping Sunny with Syndra, and you know I'm a pathetic weakling when it comes to lifting things. So I'm
You're just like holding it as if you're helping.
pretending, Yeah. And then as we go by, I sort of kick one of those little baggies aside with my feet, and I subtly lean down and pick it up and stow it in the voluminous folds of my robe and keep on going.
You were wearing a pretty dress last time I checked, Qual.
Oh yeah, in my cloak. I've still got a big cape over me.
You are more than able to. These people, these slaves, seem so eager to help you if there's a promise of no nasty sack that they're taking Syndra out of your hands. A tunnel, a room later, they're climbing up ladders with her, popping open a little grate in the ceiling and escorting you guys outside, but kind of shying away from the sunlight.
Now that I'm hands-free, I also want to steal some drugs.
You and Boop can roll me sleight of hand checks.
Yay, team.
Another 22.
Boop doesn't do so well today. He doesn't think it's valuable. It's not shiny.
Boop grabs something that is shiny. Booper grabs a little marble slate. It has parchment on it. It seems to be for writing, keeping notes, but it's
Very
the only
good.
thing that looks shiny down here. So, yoink.
In before cuneiform.
You
He
and your
jumps in a bag of
cuneiform.
hoarding.
You and your cuneiform
Right.
get up top. You seem to be in some kind of other block, not the castle block. There's boats on water near you, the sound of rushing waterfalls under feet, and you guys can see the castle. It's not far away. One or two of these suspended pyramid-like blocks that the city of Citadel is built on. And as you guys breach the surface, we will hop back to Shallot. Shallot, you are being ushered through the hallways by this blonde gentleman. This castle is the absolute worst castle you've ever seen. There's doorways that open up to nothing, staircases that are half built. It's all made out of marble, gold, ivory, the very best, fanciest stuff. But it's unorganized, hard to navigate.
Huh. This feels like the mind of my good friend. I can't remember his name. But he was crazy.
You've walked in the mind of your friend?
Once. Yeah, there was this one time where we were battling a giant monster and it kind of took over his mind, so I had to use some of my great magic to peer inside his own mind and kind of put it back together like a puzzle. And oh my goodness, that was a bunch of different staircases. It looked like an MC Escher painting.
I must admit I'm not cultured enough to know what that means. But you gnomes certainly like stories, don't you?
Oh, we love stories. We gnomes, and he kind of like, squints, and he's like, wait a minute. What do you mean, we gnomes?
Oh, it must be a cultural thing, and I didn't mean anything bad by it. And he stops, cut off, distracted. There's some kind of hubbub come from the hallway up ahead. There's guards rushing in and out. Some of them covered in blood. Robin gets big eyes, sticks the hand down towards you. Oh, yeah, stories. And his pace quickens. He starts jogging ahead.
Shallot just kind of like jumps up and down, like bounces up and down as he's like still yodeling on Robin's back. Okay, I understand that they're covered in blood, but what the heck happened? What's going on?
Your little legs move fast to try to keep up with him. A blonde, not even a woman, more of a girl, 16, 17, steps forth from the doorway. Robin moves past her. Her eyes are at the ground. She's not looking at anyone. Her brow is furrowed, and she has this gorgeous pink dress on, heavily starched, but doesn't even move or flow. And it's covered in wine, spilled food. It looks like a plate got thrown up into her face. She bumps into you, not noticing you, as she walks by. Doesn't say sorry, just kind of and quickly hurries off.
Huh. Rude. Really like the dress, though. Good choice, but rude. Ah, man, what's going on? And he kind of like peers into the grate. The I guess you would assume is the great hall where she came out of.
This looks like some kind of dining hall. Food has been upended off of parts of the table, but empty plates are at the other end. Guards are rushing back and forth. A corpse is brought by in arms. A man, head to toe, dressed in yellow flowing robes. A little jeweled crown sits on his head, and his throat has been opened by a knife that one of the guards is carrying right behind him. There's a lot of hubbub. Robin's head left and right. And, what's going on? In all of this hecticness, outing in the blood, there's one gentleman sitting at the table, stuffing his fist full of cherry tomatoes and raw meat. He glances up at you. He looks much older than he should. He has big, greasy, white hair down his face. He has a tight beard and an empty left eye socket. The eye he does have looks up at you guys with a bright blue, like the sky, that almost seems to glow. And he, Robin, right? Yeah, Duke. And he kind of bows his head. What's happening? What can I do?
Well, what's happening is this food's getting cold. I suggest you, come help me eat. Who's your friend?
Shalt like kind of watches what he assumes is a regal figure being carried out. He looks to Robin. He's like, it looks like a classic case of regicide. And when he hears the Duke, he's like only worried about the food. Charlotte looks, jumps up on the table, and with his staff, he kind of like swipes the food off the table. He's like, there's been a murder, and all you can physically think about is stuffing your fat gullet.
That probably seems insensitive, doesn't it? My apologies, young one. It's, not that there was a murder, and I don't care, don't think me cold-hearted. Just, that guy was kind of a dick.
Oh, right. So that gives you the excuse to stuff your face. Right on ya. Good job. And I look to the guards and it's like, has he been questioned yet? Because he seems very, very calm through this entire thing.
A man steps forward, almost appearing from the shadows. He is, at first glance, perhaps a drow, but not quite. He's something older, one of the races that the drow evolved from, some kind of dusk elf. He steps forth and he has almost a naval commander's regalia on. He has little tassels on his shoulders, and they're all dark navy blue, a little bit darker than his skin tone. And he glances down at you. The Duke friend has been under the observation of our esteemed Red Knight, Dragon Slayer.
Oh, the Red Knight. Huh. I feel like I've heard that name before. Huh.
In other words, with King Yeardley's passing, You are addressing the new king.
Yeah, no, that just makes him seem 10 times more suspicious. I don't care who the heck was watching him.
We left Charlotte unsupervised, guys.
Oh God.
He said, okay, so the fat man,
We're just doing drugs.
the fat man here, who's stuffing his face
Oh boy.
right in the presence of his predecessor's murder, is now the new king. I don't know. I might just be a little forest gnome who almost died, but hey, that looks pretty suspicious to me.
Some of the guards stop their hubbub. They're looking at you with huge eyes, not like they're listening to you, but that they can't believe this traitorous spew coming out of your mouth. But the silence is broken by a laugh.
You see, I like this one. I need more like him in my court. He's a thinker. What if I did kill Yeardley? What are the rest of you doing about it?
They nervously look at their feet. The man in the blue regalia. Your friends, the other adventurers, they went after the murderer. He was here. We saw it happen.
Oh, I totally forgot that. I totally forgot. You can't possibly just hire somebody to murder someone, so it just throws the blame off of you. And I hop down. I said, all right. My name is Charlotte Wilbur Walla Walla Thaddeus Weatherfields. Pleasure to meet you. I hope you didn't kill the king. But could you escort me to my friends?
Well, I certainly hope I didn't kill the king either. That would put a damper on our relationship.
Oh yeah, no, that it would require me to shatter your mind and leave you as an empty husk.
He taps the side of his head. At first, you think it's his temple, but he's pointing at his glowing eye.
That would be quite a feat if you could pull that off, friend.
He sniffs at the air.
Oh, well, I do believe your friends are coming here now.
And in the doorway, coming in from the front of the castle, you see your friends, led by a woman covered in sewage, wearing the same naval commander's uniform as this guy, but hers has been dyed bright red to match the little ginger bun on top of her head. She looks defeated. She's covered in sewage. And the second she steps through the door, the old man next to you sits up.
Of course. The Red Knight dispatched the evildoer. Of course. She also smells like a sewer.
She perks up, and her face turns the same color as her regalia. Sir!
I'm sorry.
And we are all now joined in the hallway. All of us, including Syndra, who is unconscious and seems to be worsening.
Charlotte turns and notices Morsan. Morsan! My friend! And he starts running
Charlotte.
slow. Morsan!
You're well, not that I care that much, but good. Yes, you're okay.
He jumps into Morsan's arms and he throws his little gnomish arms around him. Oh boy, you wouldn't believe what happened. The fat man here is eating and talking about somebody killed the king. You guys went after it. I had a fever dream of some kind of weird demonic emissary of Zehir. And then I met Robin.
He's a demonic emissary of Zehir?
We're gonna need to talk about that more, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's a...
Charlotte, I need to know more about this.
So Charlotte jumps down and he looks around. He picks up some bean paste and starts drawing on the walls. He draws the shape of the wheel with the 8 spokes, and he grabs some I guess cranberry sauce, and he draws the eyes, And he was like, okay, so it looked like this. That's all I could see was the wheel with the 8 spokes and the red eyes. And he was like, I am an emissary of Zehir. And then I was like, I'm an emissary of, yeah. And I told him to step into the light. And when he did, I woke up and I saw Aloysius.
Casper, meanwhile, during the bean paste drawing, is screaming at the top of her lungs. I need a knight. A phoenix knight, or maybe. And then her eyes land on Robin. Robin, you can do this. Quick, there's been another one. And she points back to the unconscious body of Syndra. She runs over, and Robin just kind of plop, plop, plop. What do you people do? Yeah, that's another one. All right. You have to hurry. He's gonna die. She's gonna die. Not on my watch. And he slowly, dejectedly starts taking off his metal gauntlets, throws them on the ground. Plop. Gets down on his hands and knees, places his hands on Syndra's unconscious body. And just like last time, there's an audible tss when his hands touch, and he winces. Ow, 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 ow. Yeah. I think she'll be fine. It's no worse than the Onion Man up there, anyway.
So, Strider, sorry, just to go back to last week, what happened was we were at the feast, sat next to the Duke, and the king came in and he was acting real weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tried to leave, and Sonny tried to stop him, and then he started running, and then we get out there and the king is dead, and some dude is running for his life.
He
down the
stabbed
corridor.
himself,
That's right?
remember? He stabbed himself.
Oh,
The
that's
king
right in front of us.
took out
Yeah.
a dagger and slit his own throat, presumably under this man's control.
Right.
But that's speculation.
Yeah, I was just trying to make sure like I had the order of events right in my head.
Yep.
Okay. Syndra's looking okay?
I don't know why you're being so nonchalant about this. No, always eager to help. Okay. I got this. Hold on, don't worry. Okay, ow.
Charlotte sidles up to Sunny. So, are we caring about what happens to her? Or are we still mad at her for killing people?
We've decided we're only half mad at her. We're giving her a chance.
Yes, this is her second or third chance.
Oh, okay.
Also, we saw the king kill himself.
Yes, we saw the king kill himself.
Oh!
That's probably vital information we should share.
The king killed himself, and...
Although, it was weird. He was very not like the king, because we met him earlier, and he knew everyone's names, and he was a total dude, and then we come down to the feast, and he was a douchebag that didn't know anyone's names. And it was suspicious, and then he was leaving, and then he killed himself, and then this other guy was running.
Wait a minute. Did you check to make sure that it wasn't a mask?
A mask?
Yeah.
He was kind of oozy.
I mean, I suspect that the king was under some sort of influence, that he was possessed.
Well, no, that could definitely be something. Mind control magic does exist, but you could also create a golem in the likeness of the king and make it look like the king is dead. If you have the king's body, nobody would be the wiser.
I guess I hadn't considered that. Is the king's corpse still in the hallway?
It has been taken out of the hallway, but people are jostling it. One guy wants to take it downstairs, the other one in the downstairs. It's the stairs that don't go downstairs. It can come this way, and there's just general chaos. If you guys wanted to fit and get a minute to look at it, it would be easy enough.
And what about Emily? Was that her name?
She's nowhere to be seen. Do you say that out loud?
Yeah, I'm gonna inquire as to where she is at.
The moment you do, Para, the dusk elf blue regalia, perks up, looks all over the hallway. Not again. Excuse me. I need to find her. Bodyguard coming through. Excuse me. And he'll shove his way down the hall and run off in some random direction, probably not even the direction Charlotte saw the young girl go.
This place is chaos. It's exactly like home. I don't know why we bothered coming here.
I feel like we need to get out of this castle. I'm gonna go crazy with all of this nonsense around me.
Plus, they might start blaming us because, we brought Charlotte and he was cursed, and then suddenly the king goes weird and kills himself, and there are assassins coming in.
I think we should check the body, as Charlotte suggested, to make sure the king is dead and not just some kind of crazy farce has happened here.
If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't really give a damn what happens to this place. The Imperial Collective doesn't have any power over me. I'm just here in the desert. I just want to find the minions of the Shaded Serpent.
Are they not behind us, do you think? That guy down there, he seemed to be pretty snaky to me.
I'm sure they're behind it, but I'm not sure we're finding any clues here. It's too chaotic.
Maybe on the body there's something, I don't know.
Charlotte and Mawson, why don't you check the body? I'll talk to Casper, make sure we're not about to be arrested for murdering a king or bringing cursed people into castles. And we'll meet back here in like 2 minutes.
All right. But this wouldn't be the first time that I was blamed for blowing up an entire kingdom.
When was the first time?
Long ago. There was this thing with a stone, and it was either sacrificed the entire kingdom.
Actually, on second thought, I'm not sure I want to know.
I leaned down and I whispered to Charlotte, "Did you put the bombs in our bags?"
What? Bombs? Do I look like...
No bombs, no bombs.
That was a joke.
Right. Blame the gnome for bombs, and he like kind of shuffles out. Come on, Morrison. Let's go. Let's do a impromptu autopsy.
I whispered to Sonny, in the future, BOMBS. He can't spell them.
What was it? What does that spell?
Come on now. He's like a dog when you say walk.
Anyone doing the impromptu body examination can roll me Arcana or Medicine or Perception.
Right.
Ooh, tempting. I'm equally bad at all of these, so. Oh, well, yeah, I got a 6.
What kind of ranger can't perceive?
That one.
My wisdom is 10, I think. My stats are in right. Yeah. Was it a medicine? Actually, I have a +2 in medicine. But not that it matters.
Yeah.
Either way, it's a 6 or a 7.
Yeah. Yeah, anyone else? Charlotte, you gonna look at it?
Yeah, I rolled a 20 on Arcana.
Oh, okay. With a 20, that is just enough. There is some kind of magical residue about this guy. Not physical, not any kind of slime, but there's the makings of debauchery and spellcraft afoot. With a 20, he might have been unaware of what he was doing. He might not have even known that he was slitting his own throat.
Are you getting anything from this, Charlotte? I can't see much on him.
No, it's definitely magic induced. Man, I would really like to peer into his mind. And he grabs the king's head, and he looks back at Morrison. Morrison, can you go grab me that steak knife back in the dining hall?
Yes.
Sirs, I'm gonna have to suggest against mutilating the king's corpse.
It's just a suggestion. It's like just my 2 cents here. But...
Oh, it's just an autopsy to make sure whether or not what was the actual cause of death. It looks like it was by magical means, might be strong illusion magic to take over the mind of this poor noble.
Qual or Sonny, did you want to look at the body and see what you could see?
I'll make a medicine check, sure.
I'll be hastily talking with Casper to make sure that we're on the same page as to what happened and that we were no way involved with the killing of a king.
I look it over. I'm not a very good doctor. I just look at it. Yeah, that's a neck wound, all right.
You can peer right inside the neck cavity now.
Ooh, I get a little squeamish. Actually, that's what happens. I look at it and I like retch a little bit and back up. I think you've got this one, Shallot.
Even if it was magically induced, his body could not withstand being alive at this point anyway. He would be dead one way or the other.
Hey,
Casper?
Shallot, I think I've discovered something about me, Shallot.
What?
I think I'm deathly afraid of blood.
I stop and I look at him and I'm like, oh, you're deathly afraid of blood. And he pulls off his little brooch and he kind of pricks his finger and he puts his brooch back. Ooh, scary, scary blood.
I sort of like wrinkle my nose a little bit and I say, well, okay, maybe mortal wounds is a better way of putting it.
You're afraid of dead bodies. Don't worry about it.
Well,
not everybody can handle it.
It's okay. I will look. I'll tell you what I see, and maybe you can translate that into something that means something. I will be your eyes, because I know nothing about medicine.
They're pulling some jackassery out in the hallway.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Casper has moved over to the Duke, the King. Who knows? And
Red Knight, Casper, I will be right back. And I've already seen that Booper's gone scampering because Booper's like, oh, king down, that's gold. Because he remembers the hat. He doesn't forget the hat. And so Booper and Sunny arrive. And
Yeah,
that's a dead king.
yeah, certainly. Dead dude.
Do we know why he died? I mean, other than what we saw happen?
Well, it looks like it's magically induced.
Yeah.
I guess I could try to peer. And no, his brain's basically dead. I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Morrison, flip over the body.
I do so.
Okay. And Shallot like pulls out these like little gloves out of his pocket and goes whoops, whoops. And
Wait.
he's like,
What are you doing?
Don't worry. He's got a license in another world, but it's...
yeah, of course, it's in another world, and he pulls
So-
out his license saying licensed by Icewind Dale.
So my sister's a cleric, and I've seen her talk to dead people. Perhaps if we go and get that cleric from the temple district, he can come and talk, but we have to move really quick because I seem to remember there's a time limit on this sort of thing.
That guy was a dick.
Right. Go get her.
Him.
Him. Thing.
You're unconscious,
Yes.
it's fine.
Fine. You go get it. And I'm going to search this for any types of magical bugs or anything else. I'm going to investigate the body.
All right.
And then,
Okay.
Sonny, were you going to talk to Casper before you left?
I'm like looking at Charlotte, looking at Casper, looking at Charlotte. I'm gonna go talk to Casper real quick.
hey, Casper, to go get the cleric.
Yes, something like that.
The Duke and Casper are talking. You hear the voices as you approach.
I wasn't being cute, I meant it. You actually smell quite terrible. You should probably go bathe.
Sir, there's been an assassination. I should stay by your side.
Not like this, you won't. Look, I took care of myself, didn't I? Somehow I'm fine.
And that's
Duke.
when you walk up.
Yeah, yes.
Night. Dead body, we're still trying to figure out if it was definitely him. I'm pretty sure it was him. But is there any way we could get a cleric here, maybe speak to the king, see if he can tell us anything else that happened to him? It has to be quick, though, from what I remember of my sister's voodoo.
The Phoenix Knights specialize in death and undead, and I have sent for them. There should be one here in a moment, but they're an iffy bunch. They normally try to kill undead, not talk to the already dead.
From what I understand, there is a line between undead and speaking with the dead, but that's, not my... So, just so we're clear, we had nothing to do with what happened. You were with us the whole time. We didn't summon anyone. We didn't kill anyone. Oh, except that one guy, but I think you killed him.
What? I didn't kill anyone.
Are you killing people again, Casper?
No! Again? No!
Thank you, Miami. Appreciate it.
You kind of oozed him.
That was him! He was doing that to himself. I can't do that kind of stuff.
Well, that's okay then. So no one killed anyone except for the king who killed himself, maybe.
Robin, there's shadows moving up his arms now, and he's still just sitting here. There's almost a warm smell, like cooking meat, and his arms are sizzling. And again, he takes his hands up off of Syndra, just... I brought the little guy here, the one covered in the blackness and the grossness, so I take responsibility for that.
And now I better stop him from defiling the king before the other dudes get killed. I will be back.
You emerge into the hallway.
I think I'm going to visit the cleric as well.
When she returns, like, the king's regalia is, like, all off, and Shallot's, like, checking the body for any, like, sort of markings or anything that could be used to control a body at a remote distance kind of deal, like a rune or sigils.
I've definitely gotten him the steak knife by this point as well.
Oh my god.
There you go.
I'm just like in the corner covering my eyes.
Like this is
Cool.
this totally something that we've done before. You can tell, just like the two of us.
I shift my eyes and look over at Sunny Night. I mouth quietly, "Get me out of here."
Shallot's about to make the first incision along the B12 vertebrae.
Yeah.
Stop.
Nail clippers.
Stop.
Shallot stopped. What?
What?
They sent for someone, and the body is gonna need no new holes in it for when they get here.
Aw, come on. Every time. Shallot, Morrison, what are you doing with that dead body? Why'd you dig up my great-grandmother? What do you mean you need it for information? Ugh.
Come on.
Fine. Yeah, come on, Morrison. Let's go talk to the fat man.
I promise next thing we kill, you can cut up. Maybe, probably. Sure.
Sweet.
Next thing.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Shallot, you are able to find a little mark, a little rune. It seems like you actually knew what to look for. And I'm just going to go off of your 20 that you got last time. You can find a little sigil behind one of his ears on the back of his head that looks like the following.
Oh, well then. And he like takes the steak knife and starts cutting off the ear and the skin around it. And he like rips it off. This is what I needed.
Nice.
Hey, high fives, Morrison.
That looks
wonderful.
I'm not looking at this. You didn't do anything over there, and I'm not even thinking about it.
It looks a
Don't
little
worry.
bit like a snake and a little bit like the number 3.
Or is it a fancy Z
Would be a Zorro.
for Zehir?
Zehir. Oh, Zehir was
Right.
Zehir, maybe. That could be it.
Like it could be Zorro.
It could be V is for Zorro, V is for...
Cool.
Yeah,
Are we having fever dreams?
I wouldn't doubt it at this point.
We need to get to the library where I can find more text on the sigil.
I agree, we need
I
to
need to
break
find
in.
a cleric.
There's a small mousy man. It's as if he wasn't even here. He's just standing next to you. He has blue robes, a blue beret, and little ruby-lensed glasses. He's not quite a halfling, not quite a human, somewhere in between, a 3/4ling. And he looks down at Shallot. Your friends blew up the library. There's no library.
I look back at my friends.
Damn it.
You did what? The only archives in this city, and you blew it up.
Technically,
You
we
damn
didn't blow it up.
Dirty adventurers.
Not our fault.
We didn't.
Not our fault.
We weren't pulling experiments with bombs.
I took like 40 HP damage or something.
That would be our friend Jericho's fault.
Yeah.
Or your fault, Mr. Auditor, sir. Whose name I've promptly forgotten. But that's fine.
He introduces himself to Shallot just in time, so Sunny remembers his name.
Awesome.
Fujiko, you can call me Fuji.
Oh, Fuji.
Okay, yeah. I lied. I blew up the library.
Oh, wonderful. So should I shatter your mind now or later?
Oh, no mind shattering, please.
I think it was shattered a long time ago.
Thought you should
Great.
shower. Mind shower. Sounds kind of nice.
Sounds soothing.
Ah.
Sounds
want
like it
to-
would cleanse the image of Charlotte taking someone's ear off.
I need to scrub the folds in my brain.
I could
Right.
use a good mind shower.
So I look at him. Do you have anyone who's an expert of the occult?
The hallway seems to colden. You guys can feel it. The temperature drops a good 10 degrees. 3 folks march up in line. They are dressed like Robin, but instead of a big filigree griffin on their shirt or on their big breastplate, it looks like a phoenix. Their skin is sallow. There's huge dark circles under their eyes. In fact, they look like vampires, at least from what you've heard the story. Of stories. The air about them's cold. There's a bitterness to it. It bites at you. They walk past the king's corpse. There's 3 of them. 1 human, 1 elf, and actually a gnome. They kind of glance down at the body, ignore it, walk into the room. The human amongst them speaks up. Head Knight, Gwyn, you called for us. I most certainly did. There's been an assassination. We are aware. Oh, well, the king is dead. If I may be so bold, madam, the king is not dead. He sits beside you. She glances at the Duke and... Oh, very funny, and here I thought you guys didn't have any sense of humor. King Yeardley lays on the... He lays... Yes, we've seen. Well, is there anything we can do? What is there to do? He is dead, and all is right with the natural order.
Well, we need to find his killers.
For the justice of King Beardley.
And we think that there is magic involved in this, so yeah.
Charlotte like flaps the ear and the skin that he
Little
with
ear
the sigil.
flap. Flaps
Just like
around.
yeah, look. This looks like an occult symbol of Zehir. It could have been used to remotely control the king with a powerful illusion spell.
Yeah, and I'm
The ear of
the
Zehir.
ear of the ear. The ear of the ear is here. I say
You guys...
most times I say I'm pretty sure this is anybody else's job but ours. So maybe you want to do something about it. Joking.
There are people who investigate things in our kingdom. Perhaps start with a private eye. No. We need you to talk to him. That
Yes.
Head Knight Gwyn is strictly forbidden. That goes against everything we stand for. Are we not to assure that the dead remain so? And I will need charisma checks from anyone trying to convince these guys otherwise.
Yeah, I will be like, do it, or the short man will make sure you stand for nothing ever again. And I want Charlotte to be really scary looking at that moment.
Charlotte looks
Yeah, strike a
looks at
pose.
them and like looks over at one of the Phoenix Knights, and he's like, ooh. I mean, he already has kind of like horns kind of sprouting from his head, like black fingertips.
And he's waving an ear around. I mean, what's not menacing about that?
21 on an intimidation check is pretty good. They look just as apathetic about your attempts to intimidate them as they do about the news that the king is dead. Robin is noticeably glaring at these folks. Some kind of rivalry, or is this more personal? He doesn't seem to like the Phoenix Knights, though. There has been some concerns of recent about the barriers between worlds. The integrity between the layers of reality.
I confess I don't know much about this. The layers between this world and what?
Everything. And I must admit, out of my own personal curiosity, I would like to see if he's been able to pass on. There's been countless spirits and all kinds of things that have been unable to go where they're supposed to go.
The dead haven't been able to find their rest?
Not all, but some travelers have been unable to get back home. Charlotte, you know exactly what they're talking about.
The universe is an onion.
No, the universe is an onion, and we're just a part of one of the many layers of the onionverse, created from the single onion bulb, with countless rewrites of time and reality. And then he like stops. He's like, "Wait, you don't care about this."
No, you've lost me.
It
I
might.
think we need to
completely
hurry
lost.
up,
You
though.
lost me
It
at
might-
onion, to be honest.
It might
This-
be Zehir. Zehir might be causing the souls from being able to cross over. Maybe he feasts on them.
And this man's words only confirm your worries, Charlotte, about being unable to get back to where you came from. You have the inability to jump through the onion. It seems there is something afoot stopping that kind of stuff.
So Zehir is stopping people from dying, or people from teleporting, or going through the planes, or all of the above?
This is all speculation, and we deal with facts. I will speak to Yeardley for but a moment.
I look at Morrison. I'll explain to you after we're done talking to Yeardley.
Right, okay.
Excuse me, sir. Of what god are you a cleric of?
Cleric?
You can speak with dead. Are you not a priest?
He scoffs at you. Almost in a mocking manner, but almost in an offended manner as well. He walks out into the hallway, gets down on one knee. He reaches a hand above Yeardley's forehead. He doesn't wince, but you guys hear popping and snapping noises. His skin splits, and a couple of the veins at his wrist in his hands pop out of his arm and reach down and brush the forehead of the king. He closes his eyes when this happens. The other two Phoenix Knights say nothing. They stand there at attention. His presence can be felt. He is not yet gone. Was this not good news?
Can he be brought back? If not, his soul is just not at rest. It is angry. It will grow befouled.
If he was brought back, I can assure you, friend, that the Phoenix Knights would put an end to him.
I'm trying to remember from the one time my sister did this in front of me. can we ask him questions? Can we talk to him?
It seems as though the problem with talking to him is not going to be Yeardley, but the Phoenix Knight himself. What do you want?
Charlotte holds up the tattoo. Where did he get this swanky sigil? Does he remember where he got this?
When did you receive the mark of Zehir? He is confused. He knows of no mark.
What is the last thing he remembers before the feast?
Blackness, shadow, a turban, dark red eyes.
Does he remember a wheel with 8 spokes?
He did not observe one. The Phoenix Knight stands up. This time, though trying to hide it, you see him wince a little bit as the veins return to his arm. His arm does not seal up. It does not heal. It is bleeding profusely. If that is all you need, and if there are no undead around, we shall take our leave.
Right. And I look at Morrison. Okay, so if he's going to be a lingering spirit, we obviously need to help him.
Agreed.
All right, go get me the table spot. Go get me the table salt and oil.
I bring it out from my my cape. Already got it.
Oh, okay, sweet. So he dumps the salt around King Yeardley's body, and he dumps the oil on it. He's like, all right, this is well, this is gonna seem very rude to do, but this is gonna keep his spirit from becoming a very vengeful spirit.
It's standard procedure. We've done this plenty of times before.
Of course. And then Shallot uses Firebolt to ignite the body.
We need to have many conversations after you're done with this.
Don't worry. Hopefully this, when the time is right, will help his soul pass on from this world to the ethereal plane.
Oh, gods, I'm not sure that's how it works.
Trust me, it's science. Charlotte's done it before. It seemed to work before.
Yeah.
On the old lady in the graveyard. I mean, she went right on.
Oh yeah, no, she was like a banshee. She was like,
she came.
You dare disturb me?
Yeah, she went.
And then
she went up like a barn, like that barn that we burned that other time, actually.
Oh yeah,
Maybe if we stop looking at it, it'll stop happening.
That's not how
Sonny,
things work.
I think we need a cleric in this party. I think this mad science is going to be the death of us.
Yeah, I think we should step away now.
I'm actually going to leave the room, and I'm going to try and make my way back to that place where we were first apprehended, where all the temples were. I'm just going to...
Temple District?
I'm going to remove myself from this scene entirely and go towards the Temple District.
I'm going with.
Oh,
Qual disappears into the shadows before the body is finished burning, and a little bit of time is going to pass. People are confused. Some people even say, you shouldn't be burning the king's corpse. But there's enough confusion that no one really stops you. In the Grand Hall, after Qual's gone and before the rest of you take your leave, the new king, he's not sitting in Yeardley's big chair. He's just sitting in his little stool. And he does say,
Well, in either case, Yeardley is unfortunately gone for the moment, and in times such as these, I am supposed to step up to fill his awfully big shoes.
Yeah, I believe they were sandals. Sandals and socks kind of guy.
That's what I said, he's a douchebag.
He's wearing brogues in the desert, what a guy.
he's looking around. There are only 2 or 3 of the much better dressed, but still slaves to the indentured servants of the castle, standing around nervously. The Duke King eyes over all of them, spies one that's just standing in the corner nervously with a corked bottle of wine.
That one hasn't been opened yet, right? That's not poison.
She bristles and kind of shrinks down.
Don't worry, come here.
She walks up nervously and offers it to him. He takes it.
Thank you. Perfect. Okay, now that that's out of the way, I believe some kingly business is in order. As currently acting ruler, I think it's time we leave our archaic past behind. As of now, I do hereby declare that any form of slavery is immoral and will not happen in Citadel or any of the Imperial Collective's lands in Arnohara.
Oh, that's
The guards,
That's
not
good.
bad. Yeah, it's good.
the guards all look up, look over to the servants, and they're not quite sure what the king means or what's happening. All eyes are on them, and they just kind of shrink down and step back into their corners again.
Totally thought that was gonna be an evil, moment where he's like, now everyone's a slave kind of thing.
No, I thought it was going to be the exact opposite, where it's not everyone's a slave, but he kills all the slaves.
Ah, we should have put money on
Yeah.
it.
Oh, we should have.
We'd have both lost.
Yeah, we both would have lost. This guy seems like a righteous dude.
Like him. Righteous, brother.
Now, as for our homesteading friends, I'm not sure why Yeardley keeps sending you over here by the boatful, but I can promise you that you'll be the last. As for what to do with you now that you're here, I believe we have bigger issues at hand. So,
You're
I
right.
won't forget about you. You'll hear from me in a day or two, I'm sure.
Right.
Right.
Qual's in the temple district, and you guys are able to find him. Time passes. Turns out the servants at the castle are a little confused. At first, they think they're in trouble. Later, they're told that they're free and they can go do anything. So they resume their work at the castle. They keep making food. They keep folding laundry. And for the most part, you don't really hear of any that go out and forge their own destiny. There's whispers all over town about the assassination of the king, the ascension of the Duke. Duke Octavian is now King Octavian.
Dick.
And you can all tell me where it is we reconvene after perhaps even a couple days pass.
Well, I think Core 1 is go to the Temple District. So,
Over the past couple of days, I don't know. I think as I was going to the Temple District on right before our little time hop, I was telling Sunny when we were down below the castle, when we were mucking through the sewers and fighting that strange, that shadowy person, I felt really powerless. Down there in the darkness where I should feel like my most powerful, I felt like I wasn't able to do anything. I think that if I'm going to hunt down Zehir and his followers, if I'm going to make a difference in this desert, I think I need to look towards the light. The shadow can't exist without the light. That balance is vital. And over the next couple of days, Qual is going to sort of go through the temples around here, pick up a couple of holy symbols of sun deities, or maybe even deities of the grave, the neutral gods of death like Kelenvor and the Raven Queen. And he's just going to gather these little bits and baubles if he can find them and sort of meditate on them for the next couple of days.
And after Cool's kind of initial revelations, like once he's settled in with it a bit, Sunny will take some serious time to actually talk to him about Lathander, which is a deity that she personally follows.
I get it. It's like your name.
Yeah. Something like that.
I think Morsan is going to be spending time with Charlotte. Now he's like, it's funny because Morsan's usually really begrudging about being around Charlotte, but when he thought he was dead and now Charlotte's back alive, he's like enjoying spending time with him again, like doing all the, looking back on a memory when he and Charlotte like dug up this old woman. Morsan really didn't want to be there and he hated doing it, but now he's like really into it because he realizes how kind of like fleeting life can be. So
buddy movie montage.
Yeah, buddy movie montage I think is happening.
Charlotte and Morrison. I feel like when we reconvene, we're all at like the local diner, and like Charlotte has ordered a Reuben, and he's explaining the idea of the separations of planes, even in this layer of the onion verse. And he's like, okay, so what they were talking about a couple of days ago, I know it took me a while to gather my thoughts, but think of it like a sandwich.
Okay.
Right? The meat is our plane of existence. Right? This is where we are.
Okay.
Right? The top layer of bread is what is known as the ethereal plane. That's where people would assume that the gods and good spirits go to. Some areas have these angelic beings that create Azamar. And then he like flips over the sandwich, causing like sauerkraut and everything to like go everywhere. And he's like, and this is the infernal plane where all the demons come from, and where y'all's heritage comes from. He gestures to Sunny and Morsan.
Right.
So, and he flips the sandwich over again, sending sauerkraut and lettuce everywhere. And he's like, so, if one spirit can't go from the meat to the top layer or the meat to the bottom layer, they kind of just sit in the meat layer, taking up valuable space.
And then the sandwich gets overloaded with too much meat and the ratio is all off.
The ratio is all off, and then the spirits start to either become restless, or maybe Zehir is devouring the spirits,
and
using it for power.
Right, is someone else eating the meat in a sandwich, a sandwich thief.
Exactly, and then there's no meat in the sandwich. There's only the top layer and the bottom layer.
This makes
and
a
the
lot of
sauerkraut.
sense. Zehir is a meat thief. Now I
I
understand.
feel like at this point, Sunny reaches over, just takes the sandwich and just takes a big bite of it because she's hungry.
I look at her suspiciously as though she might be Zehir. Okay.
Mawson, it's just a sandwich. And like, she takes another bite.
Yes, I know that.
Weirdo? Do you? Huh?
I'm going to say that our sandwich demonstration, the best Reuben in the city, is the Blessing and Wine Skin. You guys have actually stopped in here once before.
Oh, yes.
It was only for a moment. It is still being run 24 hours a day by this tiefling named Maria. She is flirting relentlessly with Sunny, and now that you guys have been in here a little bit longer, is slowly warming up to you and is being less brash. As the sandwich conversation goes on, you guys can peer around the normal fare. You're sitting on cushy leather stuffed seats. Like they're leather, and they're also stuffed with something very soft. You're eating over an old beer-stained wooden table with fancy doilies on it. There's a chandelier hanging over the front entrance. And glancing around, the clientele doesn't quite know what it wants to be either. There's a couple shady guys in the corner playing cards just with themselves. There's a couple, what you assume to be merchants. No one seems to be reserving any rooms. And oddly enough, at the bar, there is a younger woman, perhaps too young to even be in here, be drinking. It's not Emily. Darker skin, skinnier, and is just kind of sitting at the bar, not talking to anyone, with her hair over her face. And Maria seems to not even notice her. Just to give you a little context of where you're at and who makes the best sandwiches.
Charlotte like reaches over and takes his Reuben back from Sunny and like bites into it.
Hey, I wasn't done.
Too bad, my demonstration. This is my plainer sandwich. Reuben. He looks over at the girl at the bar. So, who's that chick?
Do you like her?
There's only one girl in all the Onionverse for me.
Well, now
And he opens up his locket.
Now you've done it.
Tulip Lale. And he like closes it and
We'll-
stuffs the locket.
We'll get back to
in
her
his
one day.
robe.
I'm sure, Charlotte. When we open up the Onionverse again, we'll find her.
Oh yeah. Right. We'll get there. And he like eats the sandwich a little bit more. And he's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm drawn to talk to her. And like,
Can we get another sandwich?
and he like bites-
Shut up! I'd love to make you a sandwich. It is for you, right? Not the short one.
Yeah, for
He
me.
throws-
He stole mine.
He throws his kraut everywhere.
I'm
Tell
sorry.
me.
I was just trying to explain to my friends the intricate concepts of interplanal travel. He
Excuse
like
me,
hops down.
good lady. Do you know who that might be over there? My friend is interested in her.
Yes, that's what all you men ever talk about, isn't it?
Oh, I've never spoken about this
Ac-
before, but
Actually, I don't know who that is. Oh, you don't think I'd have forgotten a customer, do you?
yes.
No, of course not. Could you find out who she is, though?
Oh, good idea. Yes, do
You
that.
think she's a traveler like we are?
She goes over and taps the girl on the shoulder. She doesn't turn her head. She just leans back a little bit. You see, Maria points a finger over at you guys at your table. This thing turns a little bit, but bangs are obscuring the face. The dress is a little bit torn up and ill-fitting. The thing looks at Maria. Maria smiles and nods, and this girl stands up and starts walking over. I
Thank
would
you,
also
Maria.
like to state that Sonny, you in particular found something rather interesting. On that marble slate that Booper stole in the sewer,
Mm-hmm.
there's parchment, all right? And it seems to be some kind of paperwork. In the dock district, there's a warehouse mentioned. It's numbered. And that seems to be some kind of manifest as to where these boxes are going.
Interesting.
This little girl approaches the table.
Alright, how old is she?
It is incredibly difficult to put your finger on it. She comes over, stands there for just a moment, And then hands with long, yellow, dirty nails slam down onto the table. A grin spreads across her face with twisted yellow teeth. And she speaks, saying, "Oh, take off my training bra for a copper piece."
Oh. Oh God.
The
Ooh,
bangs.
this went in a direction I wasn't looking for.
The bangs part, and you guys recognize a very poorly disguised Jericho.
I'm gonna say.
How are you liking the city, friends?
I hold up one of my holy symbols, like the sign of the cross.
Back, fell demon.
I'm gonna look in the cup for what I was just drinking really questionably.
Oh my God.
The holy symbol seems to have no effect on him.
Shaw looks at Jericho. Jericho, buddy! And he takes his staff and he like goes to bonk him on the head.
He will let himself be bonked, and he will cuss under his breath. The shitty wig on his head, looking more like some kind of mop rag, kind of shuffles a little bit. He straightens it back out, puts his bangs back in front of his eyes.
Master of disguise.
So, city life is good for intrepid adventurers then.
Well.
Interesting,
Yeah.
Jericho. Interesting, considering we arrived and we found curious items in our bags. And Charlotte was
Oh,
cursed, and now Syndra's cursed,
Hmm.
and the king was assassinated.
Yeah, he killed
He will
himself.
plop down right next to you, kind of pushing you over a bit, sitting almost directly on your lap.
Tell me more. This is all very interesting.
I guess I took him through the events of a couple of days ago with the king's assassination.
How can you be upset that there were bombs in your backpacks?
Bombs!
I was blown up by BOMBS, guys. Come on.
Why do you guys keep spelling that weird word?
What does that spell?
Oh,
We didn't ask for them. We didn't really want them.
those things you put in our backpacks which exploded, and yeah, and the white powder in them. There's a bunch of rat folk underneath the castle, and they're making that. Are they your guys?
Rats making? No one can make that. That is my invention. And exploded?
He looks to the left, to the right, at the floor. And
They're
at the
back now,
ceiling.
yeah.
What are you talking about? I see Citadel in all of its glory. I don't think anything exploded, you little exaggerator, you.
We took one tiny piece of powder, and that blew up, and there's bags of it. That will blow up pretty much the whole city, like 3 or 5 times over.
You must be wrong again, friend. I make that stuff. It is mine and only mine. And
Yeah, to
I
be fair,
didn't-
we don't know if it's the same stuff.
I
just
didn't even
But he
put
still
a
put bombs in
patent-
our bags.
still put bombs, BOMBS, in our bags.
Jericho,
BOMBS.
I have a question for you. What was that white powder? The red stuff was alchemist's fire, but what was the white stuff?
Ooh, good question. It is an ingredient of my own creation. It is an accelerant, and it's very volatile. But, Sonny, I am offended. I didn't just put bombs in your backpack. I also put this,
And he taps your bag of holding.
a perfectly safe vacuum seal.
Yes, but you didn't put them in it. You just gave me the bag, and you didn't tell me the BOMBSs were in any of our bags.
Well, I also didn't tell you how many water skins were in the bag. I didn't think it was important.
Jericho, why are you here?
Yes, what are you doing here, Jericho? And why are you in disguise as some kind of...
Transvestite.
Let's leave it there.
androgynous- I don't know. Something about a training bra? What is this?
That, my friends, is our YouTube endorsement going down the drain.
It's okay. Demonetized for mumps, it's fine.
I would come up with a more timely joke, but well, I heard through the grapevine that people, mainly our little friend Charlotte here, was having a hard time in the desert.
Oh, yeah. Snake bracelets. Deep buried statues of death.
Yeah, giant statues of laser beam eye death.
It really felt like there were beings beyond control sending creatures at us that day in the desert.
Bad.
That is often how life feels, isn't it?
Especially Wednesdays at 4:30 here.
I mean, sometimes, once in a while, I would just love to wake up and have a nice cup of tea and sit down and read my favorite book.
Yeah, just 3 hours or so, just of no adventure whatsoever, just hanging out. It'd be really nice.
Yeah.
And also, I can't say this was entirely altruistic. I heard, after I've been in the city, that King Yeardley is King Deadly. Oh, not deadly, but he's...
Not so deadly anymore.
You understand?
We were there. We
Fortunate
understand
choice. Yeah.
vividly.
Yes, he died, and now the Duke, King Octavian's in charge, and he's ended slavery, so I don't think that's such a bad thing, to be honest.
He is a king that is always a bad thing. And who decided to throw a regicide without inviting me?
That is a good question. He would have been very good at it.
Yeah, probably the Zehir guys. It was really snaky, and check out this ear. And
Hey, that's a good question.
I get it out from Charlotte's pocket, like the ear.
Oh, yeah.
Jericho.
Straight up this severed ear. Ooh, ears, my favorite. What were you saying, Qual?
We have a mutual enemy. Those cultists of Zehir, they didn't just attack the king. Those were the folks who attacked us at your camp. Not even a week ago. They don't
trust me. I'm still not on good terms with them about that.
But what do they want? You seem to want the king gone. They seem to want the king gone. Do they just want chaos?
Did they want to end slavery? I mean, they set this up.
Trust me, if he is a king or royalty, there must be some kind of non-altruistic motive behind him freeing the slaves. I would free the slaves, but then again, if I freed the slaves, I'd be a king, and then you'd have to kill me.
Is that how it works?
Oh, sure.
You always have to kill the king.
I have no qualms with that.
I beg you, if I ever become a king, please put me out of my misery. As for this is the sigil of the Saif al-Din.
The what?
Gesundheit.
Oh, I remember that. The creepy dude with the wheel with the 8 spokes. He said, I thought he was saying the Saif Saltine, but the Saint Aldine. Yeah, no, the emissary of Zehir.
His face kind of...
Grant as well donates £1 to give advantage to Sienna. Can't stop the D&D bad boy. Thank you, Grant.
Thanks, Grant.
Thanks, Grant.
His face drops. You've seen him, and you're alive?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was a fever dream, but this wasn't the first time that I've dealt with some weird creatures from beyond the veil.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, yes, the Saif al-Din. This is certainly their handiwork, and if it was a fever dream, I've had 1 or 2 of those myself. This is nearby, one of their headquarters. Yep, certainly someone from there. Yep.
So,
I'm sorry, I guess I'm not totally clear on who exactly the Saif al-Din are.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Salad drew sort of like a wagon wheel?
The Saif al-Din. You've met them before, friends. In your common tongue, we call them the followers of Zehir. They don't like to call themselves followers because that makes them feel like sheep. So
To them, it is the safer deal.
Right, that's their word. We call them Zehir, guys. Got it. So, they...
Well, I'm half Artie and I can say it.
Got it. So they are behind this. Any ideas why?
Probably because Citadel is still here.
Do you know where they're located?
Yes, of course.
Great. And Charlotte pulls out a map. Draw it.
I will, friend, but in order to draw, I need a piece of chalk.
Charlotte looks around, and then
Ooh, we've seen the chalk trick.
Not any piece of chalk, friend. I think we are about to make a deal. Are you willing to bargain with me, Charlotte?
Sure. What could go wrong?
Charlotte. Okay.
Sounds like plot.
I will show you directly where they are, and perhaps even tell you how to get in. But in return, I need something.
Sure.
The greatest weapon of all time. The slayer of dragons, the protector of darkness, the... blah, blah, blah. I need the weapon. And he points out to the city, out to the scorched sands, with a flick of his hand. The weapon that did that to the dragon.
Right. Charlotte like reaches into
Red Knight.
his cloak and he pulls out a pen and he like places it right in front of Jericho. There you are, the most mightiest weapon in all time. Writer of histories, toppler of empires, and creator of heroes, and demolisher of villains. The pen.
I'm not kidding. I'm being serious.
Oh, you want a giant? So okay.
Wait. I
the
don't.
Red Knight chalk.
I don't know if it's such a good idea that we give someone like you a weapon of mass destruction, right?
Jericho, I have no interest in giving you the Red Knight. She's not ours to give. She has a will of her own.
Oh, that can
I
be
don't
fixed.
care about her. I don't care about her. I want her piece of chalk.
The chalk.
Chalk. You're a real joker, Jericho.
What were we exchanging again? What were we getting out of this deal?
Location of the here dudes.
So
More than location. Personalized plan of attack, entry, subterfuge. I would never, ever betray them, their confidence, them telling me where they are, unless they attacked me, of course.
so hang on, we
They have already attacked you.
I had forgotten. Well, then, it is a deal. Give me the piece of chalk and I will let you into their place and show you right where they are.
Oh, you're going super quiet,
We-
Estrada. Yes, I don't know about the piece of chalk. I mean, is this going to blow up? What are you gonna do with it? I mean, it would be kind of dangerous. Giving someone a weapon of mass destruction.
Charlotte jumps up and he starts walking towards the door. Piece of chalk from the Red Knight. Got it.
No, Charlotte, you weren't there. We
Hers.
saw what it does.
It must be hers specifically. Yes, thank you.
But wait, you want us to go do something really dangerous and steal something really dangerous in exchange to go somewhere really dangerous with people who are really dangerous? I'm not seeing my profit line here.
Friend, I am just giving you what you asked for. Charlotte wants to know where they are, and I, being the great friend that I am, would love to help you.
Jericho, I very vividly remember your friendship.
Hmm.
We have different ideas.
Yes, you poisoned us and then put explosives in our backpack. Yeah, sure, you put a couple of other things in there as well, but still, there's
Had us poisoned, crashed the airship, poisoned us again some more with your hallucinogenic water.
And despite all this terrible evil Jericho has done, somehow you're sitting here, completely unscathed. And not
No thanks to you.
And not sold into slavery.
I'm going to turn to whoever is in the party that's still here, and I'm going to say, listen, I want to know where the followers of Zehir are as much as the next man, probably more, but I don't think bartering with Jericho is the right way to go about this.
I agree.
Still don't trust him.
Charlotte pops up in the window. You guys coming or not?
Charlotte, we haven't
Also-
made any deal yet.
Also, I've been thinking about it, and I'm not sure I can think of a way of stealing that chalk. Did you see what it did? I really don't want to give that to Jericho.
Oh, I mean,
Besides,
all
we
people.
trust the Red Knight. She's not exactly nice to us, but she's nicer than Jericho.
agreed. Jericho was just a guy that happened to be there. Hasn't really done anything good or evil, he just seems like a force of chaos in my mind. Giving him a weapon of mass destruction is just going to end up in more people being killed along the way. I
He
think
already has the bombs and the sloths.
He's not good. He's not bad. He's just an asshole.
It's just fucking crazy. I think that
And
must
he's
be...
sat right there.
Yes, you can hear this, but...
Friends, what weapon of mass destruction are you talking about? Do you know something I don't know? Because I will certainly take one.
What if we could find you something else?
Not going to work at all. I specifically need her chalk. It's very important. But I'm not sure what weapons you're speaking of. I don't require a weapon. I want a writing implement. Chalk.
And I grab his scruff and I go, Jericho, we both know that is not just a writing implement.
But if it is,
Oh, no.
I need to know if the Imperial Collective's big weapon is a person or a thing. What if I sweeten the deal, Sonny? And he reaches up and puts his hands tenderly on yours.
I don't think you're probably coming through on the stream at the moment. You're probably like... You went from like 100% down to like 20% in a second. Yeah, you might want to like put your mic in and out again, or it could be an auto adjust setting on Zoom that's triggered. I want to make sure this gets heard because it's cool. I whisper to Qual and Sunny, I don't know if this guy is... there must be another way for us to find out this information about where the followers of Zehir come from, right? I mean, sure, the library is gone, but there are people in that castle who... I mean, they're fucking crazy, but they must know a thing or two, right? Those vampire
We could just
guys.
try and go. Yeah, we could look around here, or we could try and go to Ardalhara. I mean, they've got plenty of powerful creatures over there. They must know how to combat Zehir.
Any luck? Can you hear me now?
Perfect.
Oh yeah, you're
Yes.
much better.
Beautiful.
Tremendous.
Charlotte like kind of like leans into the window. He's like, he just wants the chalk, guys.
Oh, you haven't seen
And-
the chalk, Charlotte.
And I look at Morrison. So he wants the chalk. We're gonna give him the chalk. This is just a simple deal.
This is how bad things happen, Charlotte.
Don't worry, Morrison.
I'm worried.
Sweet, sweet, Sonny. What if I sweeten the deal even more?
Creepy. Especially in that.
I want this chalk for 30 seconds. Then you can have it back.
I've seen people do things in 30 seconds that I'm not proud of having seen.
That's like 5 whole rounds of combat. We could all be dead by then.
Yeah, we're so screwed.
You should see what I can do in 6 seconds.
Yeah, you can see what I can see. Mate, just look at my bonus action. Oh.
It will be a supervised play date. You can make sure I don't go anywhere or do anything bad with the chalk. And I just want to look at it.
What if we bring the Red Knight with us?
No, absolutely not allowed. I need to be, incognitus, I believe the phrase was.
supervised.
No red knight, no deal. It is her chalk after all.
There must be something else we can do, Jericho, or pay you in gold or something else. But this is, yes, this is too much for us, I think.
What the hell would I do with gold? I want chalk to draw you a map.
Get you any piece of chalk, Jericho, just not that piece.
Well, funny, I don't want just any piece of chalk. I want that piece.
We know, that's...
And
Not
wouldn't it be better if it was procured by a friend?
Now you're...
He's gonna get it anyway.
Now you're getting close to sounding like threatening us, Jericho, which would be a very bad idea.
Yes, it would. Nobody wants to be threatened by Jericho. So, if that is a bad idea, it is agreed. I will be around and about, and if you feel like you want to know about the Safe Aldine and where they are, then I will be happy to tell you if you decide you want that information.
We know where to find you if we do.
Precisely.
Does
I
he
certainly
head...
don't want my sandwich anymore.
Yeah, does he head off?
Check,
No.
please.
Yeah,
He will
check.
take a big bite. He will pick up Sonny's sandwich and start eating it.
Oh, bitch! Oh, bitch, you do what?
That's an act of war.
That's an act of treason. We're getting that chalk for ourselves.
When you guys are still discussing it, Shallot poking his head through a window, Shallot, someone walks by you. Someone in bright steel plate with a big griffin filigreed on the front. You guys all recognize Robin as he steps in through the front door. Maria speaks up. You letting the
Thanks,
air
Sean.
out or the air in? Shut the door either way. He steps inside. And he sees you guys. Oh, King Octavian says he's ready to talk to you guys finally.
Oh.
About good things.
Yeah, what about? Well,
Yeah,
we're not
I
stealing
think this
chalk.
is... He said something about home. Going home, making home, something.
Okay. Also, Sniper Sean cheers to give a monster to appear. Thank you, my friend.
Monster's already here.
Monsters everywhere here.
Yeah. We're the monsters. Yeah, I know. All right, I'll talk to the king about that. Seems like a cool guy so far. Much cooler than a Jericho guy. Can you take us to him?
No, a Jericho guy.
Oh yeah, I mean that Mexico guy.
Octavian?
No. No, lots of people. I can't remember any names. I'm
We
so
better
foreign.
not keep the king waiting, I
Yeah.
guess.
That's
Lead
right.
the way,
will-
Robin.
Definitely.
I would
never.
also like to ask chat to give me some kind of, or maybe the donator, some kind of frame of how strong you want this monster to be, because I will find just a table and roll on the table.
Oh baby.
Because I like my encounters to be random.
Excellent.
It's Ramsey.
Let's go. Let's meet Octavian. Never met anyone called Jericho in my life before.
Oh, we know
No,
nothing about
friend,
BOM.
certainly haven't.
Oh no, nothing about BOMBS.
Or CHALKS.
Or oh,
Wait,
I
wait.
can't spell that word.
What are you talking about, chalks?
You can
I don't know what that other
spell-
word is.
I'm like he's evolving.
Chalk is-
He can spell.
It's like Shaw just can't spell bombs.
Cannon.
So I guess we're walking over to the king, and I look up at the group. The one thing you gotta learn about when you make a deal with a crazy man, it's kind of like making a deal with a demon. You never make a deal with a demon that you intend to keep.
Now I know.
Aren't you sure that's the other way around?
Yeah. Did you...
No, it is exactly the way I said it. You can make a deal with the demon, but if you for some reason find a way to outsmart it, you never make a deal with it. that you don't intend to keep. That's how I outsmarted Malgor.
As we follow
Uh-huh.
Robin, Sienna's gonna like flip open her like steal the things notebook and flip through and start planning out how to steal the chalk because she can't stop thinking about it now the idea's in her head. Not that she's planning on doing it, just she can't stop thinking about it until she gets the ideas out on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know random monster tables? Normally, the bigger the number, the worse the monster is.
Oh,
I
great.
rolled a 100 out of 100.
Oh my fuck.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Oh boy.
I guess
I'm
we're getting
going
our
to-
Paragon classes.
Yeah,
It's
You
been nice
guys-
being level 3.
it's good. It feels good, man.
You guys step out of the Blessing in Wine Skin. You are walking along the far edge of the city, next to the harbor. When no one else really seems to notice or care much, the weather at sea is taking a turn for the worse. Far on the horizon, there's thunder, lightning, and something about this cloud, something about this huge rippling storm across the horizon that reminds you guys of when you first came here and your trip on the airship.
Storm is brewing.
Huh. I don't know. I feel like, remember the time when you almost befriended that baby sea serpent dragon and I totally made it scared?
That was bad.
Yeah, no, that was bad. You know what I also thought at that exact moment? This is gonna come around and bite us in the ass.
Yeah, when
Uh-huh.
the mummy one, like I
Yeah,
told you
the
about.
big shadow cloud
yeah, big
Yeah.
dragon.
cloud of bad shadow magic stuff.
You know what would suck right about now?
Uh-huh.
If that giant mommy dragon came out of nowhere and started attacking Citadel.
Well, thank God that's never gonna happen.
No, I don't. there's
Yeah, that
no
would be a
reason.
weird circular chain that doesn't even make sense to our current story arc.
Exactly.
The wind picks up, but not consistently, almost in waves. Someone might also observe the storm cloud on the horizon flapping.
That's a very flappy cloud right there.
Yep. Nothing to worry about. Not a cloud in the sky. Not a care in the world.
Yeah.
Nothing can ruin this day.
So weird.
I'm
how-
having a sickening deja vu feeling.
so weird how clouds
Galleons.
do that.
Galleons in the bay. This edge of Citadel is next to the ocean. It actually does have harbors. The waterfalls are underfoot. And two galleons pitch and start parting. You guys can even hear full hempen ropes snapping. And two huge eyes from in between where the galleons were pop up out of the water. You guys spy bluish skin, but it's almost translucent. Little eyelids blinking unevenly. And you guys recognize your baby sea serpent dragon friend, but he is easily 3 times the size he was just a week ago.
I look at the sea dragon. Then I look at the party. Then I look at the sea dragon again. Well, I hate my life.
This one's on you.
Yep, don't worry, I got this. And immediately, Charlotte looks at the dragon and attempts to phantasmal force it to scare him.
Wait.
Oh,
And Sienna's
God.
gonna launch herself at Charlotte to stop him from doing
That's
this.
just more sand. No!
Two tieflings just glide into the air.
Things are so bad right now, they might as well get a little worse.
We need
This
to...
thing has claws the size of front doors. They chip away at the mortar as it kind of pulls itself up onto the
Ooh, okay.
pyramid.
We're near the castle, right? Because we're heading towards the castle.
Close-ish. You're not on the same block, but you could be in a few minutes.
We need to get to the
There's some
castle.
There's some shouts of deckhands on ships yelling, and before long, there's a little bell ringing. Cling, 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 cling. And people start standing attention. Hands instinctively go towards hips at some kind of alarm. Something's wrong. And presumably the city guard will be here in a few moments also. This thing isn't attacking anyone. It's not eating anyone. It's blinking unevenly and sniffing at the air. One of its eyes kind of glances over at you guys and slowly squelches shut and open again.
Ooh, the giant dragon, baby. Let's get to the castle.
Dragon.
We can get
I'm
to the
sorry I tried to
Fine.
shoot you last time. It was a game.
I'm totally not sorry. I don't know why you're here. Go away. Nobody wants you. Not even your mother.
Sorry, I have terrible friends.
Charlotte! You
I
can't say
hate-
that.
I hate dragons.
I want to reach into my bag of stolen shit and I want to find like a shiny spherical-ish object. Like a Fabergé egg type thing. Or
You have a huge rounded wash basin made entirely out of gold. It glints.
like a frisbee. I'm down.
Yeah, and it glints in the quickly disappearing sunlight as the storm rolls in. But as it does glint, the baby dragon's attention seems to be captured almost instantly.
Shiny.
Turns its head sideways to look at you with an eyeball that's about as tall as you are. And it starts trying to crawl up out of the sea and onto the walkways.
Mawson, hold Booper.
What? Oh,
I like grab Booper, thrust him at Mawson, and I'm gonna frisbee the bowl as hard as I can out towards the sea.
Roll
With
me a strength check.
fetch. Okay. Because otherwise Booper's gonna go flying after it.
remember those BOMBSs in our bag?
Why do you keep spelling that weird word?
No. Oh, can I use my nat 20?
Yeah.
Boom. I frisbee with a nat 20.
In a moment of pirate-like dexterity, Sunny hops up on the bows of one of the ships, runs along the railing to the far end, the baby dragon watching and following along this whole time. And she throws it. It goes straight and it goes true, rising up into the air. The little head bops back down into the water, and you guys see a little tail just sticking straight up as it goes out. It goes, it keeps going, caught by some kind of draft, and splashes hundreds of yards away. And when it does, the dragon blups under the water. There's waves, bubbles, some of the ships are rocking. And you see armed guards with spears, crossbows, longbows approaching the harbor, asking what's going on, asking the guy up in the tower, ringing the bell what he sees. And you guys can peace out if you want to.
I think this...
That was my entire plan.
Yeah, let's do that.
We're done here. And
Charlotte like
run to the
starts like
castle.
walking over towards the dragon.
No,
All right.
I pick him up.
No,
Whoop.
no, let me at him. Let me at him.
No, on the
I hate
backpack.
dragons.
We're going. And I'm running towards the castle.
Charlotte,
I've
you can roll.
got Booper's hand in my hand. I got Charlotte on on my back. I'm just going.
You can roll me an opposed strength if you want to, Charlotte, but you don't need to.
No, he lets himself be picked up.
Okay, let me see here. 17 out of 20. You guys can hear quite a bit of a ruckus down there. You're about a block or two away, crossing one of these giant metal walkways. This one's 30 feet long. You guys can all be on it at once. When there's a cry, not the mewling peeps you heard the first time you met this thing, but a scream in pain. Water starts bubbling, moving. And you guys see ships being toppled over. the water level out in the ocean fluctuating wildly. And coming straight at you on this little 4-foot wide walkway with absolutely nothing below you besides a 200-foot fall. Water is pouring forth down the streets, down the walkways, down the alleys so quickly that it looks like a wave's going to make contact in a matter of seconds.
Tsunami!
What are our surroundings? Is there any place we could hide from the tsunami?
You are balancing on a 4-foot wide metal sidewalk that is bridging two of these city blocks. If you got off one end or the other, then perhaps.
How far to the other end?
Yeah, what's on the other end of this thing? Cover?
There's storefronts. Doors into buildings on both sides.
Oh, we have to dive in a house then, pretty much, right?
We need to get to higher ground is
Yeah.
what we need to do.
How long do we have is the question, I guess.
I'll give you 10 seconds.
Alright, so we're not getting much higher than we already are. It's...
Or we can cling to the bridge for dear life. These are like our two options.
Give me a marching order, just for fun.
Quote unquote fun. I think
Shouts on Morson's
I think Morsam
shoulder.
might be one of the ones that was closer to the castle because he started running with Charlotte and Booper.
And then I'm guessing Ollie would be following, and then it would be Paul and Sienna.
Yeah.
Okay. Qual, you are in the smack dab middle of this bridge. Morrison and Charlotte, you are at the very end, about to cross over to the new block. And Sunny, you were just stepping onto the little bridge. You're still have 1 foot on the one you're leaving, the block behind you. And let's just go with that marching order. Morsan, what do you do?
I start running, and I'm running towards the nearest big house.
Let me ask you, Morrison, are you an athletics man or a dexterity man?
Let me tell you. I am either or, you know? I'm flexy kind of guy. I can...
Well, flexy kind of guy. I will let the roll be up to you.
I'm pretty good at
Could
stealth.
Could be acrobatics to try to
be,
dive
yeah.
into some
Let's do
doorway.
that.
Could
Yeah.
be athletics to run.
Let's do the old jumperoo in through a window on a 10. Ah! In fact, yeah. No, I already rolled. Yeah. Not very...
Shallot, roll me a
acrobatic.
reflex save. Or a dexterity saving throw, rather.
6.
Oh.
Morrison, you're able to get inside.
Oh dear. Oh, no.
You dive through a window, glass breaks, and you feel
It's Hollywood glass.
light. You can fly. You dive in. Shallot, on the other hand, you hit your head on the top of this windowsill and go toppling out.
Charlotte, no! That's really
Yeah.
gonna hurt.
Oh man.
You,
Shallot, what do you do?
You totally
next.
miss all of the glass. You just...
Charlotte runs and tries to jump in through the window as well.
Quick, I'll help you. Ah! And I
Roll me an
go,
acrobatics check.
I'll try and catch him. Oh no. He just hits the same piece of wood again.
Oh no, this is horrible.
Somebody help
I
him!
will come back to Shallot and what happens to him in just a moment.
Oh, no.
I want to ask Sunny on the far end of the bridge. What are you doing as soon as you see this tidal wave flowing
I
through?
think when you're running for your life, your instinct is to keep moving forward, so
Yeah.
she's gonna try and run the bridge.
Okay.
With her whip out, because
Oh,
she's
you've
a
gotta-
hero.
Yeah, you've got to
and she
like
has her whip.
whip yourself into the house.
Yep.
That means, Qual, you are being pushed from behind. The friends in front of you sprinting for their dear lives. This huge wave coming to your left.
Hey, that's
200
fine. I am booking it myself. I'm even going to cast absorb elements on myself just out of sheer desperation. I mean,
absorb water or absorb falling?
yeah, I'm looking to absorb some of the cold damage from that tidal wave just in case it hits me.
Then please, both of you, sounds like athletics.
Come on, you can make it.
Or acrobatics.
How about acrobatics?
You are less trying to jump to the end of the bridge and just get across in time. I'm going to say
Alright.
this is athletics.
Okay.
Oh, boom.
Nat 20.
Whoa! Holy shit! Look at that. Double nat 20s. You don't even look at the explosions.
Charlotte, you hit your head on the ceiling. You fall out into the street. Trying to pull yourself back up, there's shards of broken glass. It's going to cut up your hands, your legs, your robes. And you're yoinked up. You're picked up as these two go flying into this dress shop with a surge of water.
Oh boy! Ow! Ow!
You two are easily able to pick up Charlotte, get inside cover, and with rolls like that,
Did you
I'm
say
gonna
it's a
s-
dress shop?
yeah,
As we skirt through, we just get new outfits on the way through.
you are fine. There's this huge splintering, rending noise outside, as it seems like, Sonny, you made the wise decision, because the bridge, the walkway across blocks, is ripped up out of the ground. The water dies down as quickly as it started, dripping down 200 feet below. And with a shake of the ground peering outside, there's some kind of frigate upside down and spanning the gap between two of these sectors. It presumably tossed up with the wave. But you guys are okay for the moment. There's more noise down at the beach, and the sky seems to be angrily flapping towards you. But you're safe. You're okay. Surprisingly.
Oh, we're like drenched in water. Oh, that was bad. Whoa. But we're all made it, right? Everyone's okay. I've got Pooper here. He's a little wet, but otherwise okay. A little clammy. But pruny
And we
fingers.
have Charlotte.
Yeah, it's good.
Yep. And he like holds up his blackened hands that are now like spurting blood. Hey, look, Qual.
Oh God.
What?
Give me a high five.
Damn it! Why would you do that? I
Yes,
just
sir.
survived a giant wave.
He's been through enough, Charlotte.
Oh, okay. And he
I
like
need
starts
another
wiping
mind
his-
shower.
Yeah. Well, got a body shower here. And I hand back Booper to Sonny. It's a little pruny, but otherwise okay.
I wring out my cape.
Thank you, Mawson. And I'm going to wrap him up in like a little bit of my cloak so Booper can dry.
Booper or Morrison?
Booper, not Mawson.
I'll be fine. Thank you.
Mawson like wears like 16 like towels and
Yeah,
wraps.
he's
He'll
like
be
yeah,
fine.
he's covered in.
It's like laundry day for him.
Yeah, constantly. Oh,
Stepping back out onto the street, this time using the door, there's a little bit of standing water in the shop. There is an upturned frigate in front of you guys, but you can get around it. The people falling down below aren't so lucky. There's noises, screeches overhead. Looking up, there's a fleet of griffins. They're all wearing saddles, and they all have knights atop them in full plate armor. And they go screeching overhead towards the direction of the harbor.
Why does this stuff keep happening to us?
not our problem. Let's just get to the castle and meet the king. Oh,
Right, the king. About
The king.
yeah.
something. And the chalk with Jericho. No, we're not doing that. That's right, we're not doing that.
I just want to get out of this city. Bad things seem to be drawn to this place.
I think that, well, maybe the king will send us off somewhere. Maybe Aldahara, like we want to.
That would be nice. Let's get to the castle.
Yeah.
You guys are actually able to get up to the castle without that much more headache. There's sloshing waters, but that's left behind you. Maybe a little trepidatious crossing the metal bridge over to the castle block. especially because guards and armed people seem to be trying to rush towards the harbor district. You cross. There seems to be no one guarding the front gates to the castle. It is open for all. And after the crowds run by of screaming, shouting people, it's quiet. It's empty. Noises can be heard of the harbor, but it's dead silent here.
Is Robin still with us?
Robin left a little bit ahead. He didn't wait for you to pack up. He wasn't showing you the way. He just says, hey, come to the castle. You're allowed in.
Got it.
Who knows where he is?
Hello? Anybody here? Anybody Zehir?
If
Maybe,
you're dead,
maybe stop taking his name in vain.
if you're dead, just let us know.
I wait a long second. No one dead here.
Okay, all right, so no one death. That's good. That's a good sign.
No. Alright, then let's press on. Sonny, you make maps of all of these places another way.
I flip through my notebook, find the appropriate page. It's a tiny bit wet from the tidal wave we just went through, but luckily I draw in pencil, so it's fine. And
you guys walk up the stairs to that big front stairway. Charlotte, you don't actually recall ever entering the castle through the front gate before. There is sculptures, gargoyles, griffins, all kinds of things. And stepping inside this huge open air entrance, you see marble staircases in front of you. And it's just as decadent and needless as the rest of the castle. The ceiling looms 60 feet overhead.
Wow, what a very beautiful yet waste of money.
Fader Konigstein donates £11. Player 2 has entered the game. A new boss monster. God damn it, Konigstein. Just when we thought we'd have a break. I swear to God, if there's something evil or bad in this castle, I'm going to be upset.
The king is the next boss monster.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's totally Dark Souls, right? We go back and he's...
Yeah.
All right.
I'm kind of glad we didn't kill the dragon. I wasn't looking forward to talking Charlotte out of autopsy.
Oh.
Now I regret not killing the thing.
Like everyone's left. It's weird. Why do you
Or
think
maybe they're all here,
hiding?
but on a different plane. Dun dun dun.
That can happen.
Oh, of course, if you get the right mage.
Charlotte, roll me perception, please.
Okay.
Charlotte, you guys, you're not going to notice until you guys are in through the entranceway of the castle. Walking forward, you're walking past gargoyles, you're walking past stone griffins, even little dragon-like sculptures. And as everyone kind of pulls ahead of you, starts looking around the castle, there's staircases up, down, left. There's doorways that may or might not head anywhere. Sunny's trying to look at her map she made. She pulls it out. You notice the statues closest to you, to your left and right, that you're standing right next to. They're distasteful, at least probably in your opinion. There's something uncanny about the eyelids staring up at you, the golden bracers they're wearing around their wrists. You're getting a bad vibe.
Hey, those guys over there. They're wearing bracelets.
That gives me a
Roll
bad
initiative.
vibe.
I suddenly feel the need to
Leap into action.
leap into action, and because of that, I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself. And he snaps his finger.
Let's roll some initiative, please. We have 20 minutes left. We can have a boss fight, right?
Oh yeah.
A boss fight before the boss fight.
A pre-boss fight, a warm-up. 15 from Orsan.
11 from Sunny.
7 from Charlotte.
5 from Qual.
Q all.
Oh, you're muted, Strider.
Tremendous. Morrison, looking back towards your friend Shallot, his little squeaks and him flapping his arms. Directly to his left and directly to his right, the statues seem to be moving. And that is when you can recognize the same exact kind of construct marble statue creatures that beset you in the desert.
Oh, shit.
This time there's 2 of them.
Oh, good. I'm gonna shoot the one on the right. Please. 23. Boom. For 6 piercing damage.
That hits it, and you will be happy to hear that fighting these things looks like it's going to go exactly the same. Nothing's changed. Your arrow bounces off, and it doesn't really seem to care.
Alright. What's up?
There's a disheveled-looking man at the top of the staircase. You guys can recognize Para, the dusk elf in his blue garb. His hair is a little unkempt. He's trying to button up his little regalia, and he looks down to see the battle in the hallway. He leaps into action. He comes sprinting towards you. Again, like always, completely unarmed. And that is his turn. Let's see. I think from Shallot. May I have your AC, please?
That would be a wonderful, let me see. 14.
Let's see. 9 plus 5, 4. And he gets a plus 5, and he rolled a 5. How's that work?
Nailed it.
I think I hit the wrong button. But either way, somehow, you get out of the way. These things leap at you. You feel the necrotic energy surging forth from their fingertips. They're trying to touch you with their taint yet again. And be it your mage armor, or maybe just deftness, fleet of foot, you're able to step out of the way.
You think I'm gonna fall for this trick 3 times? No.
Right when you say that, I need you to roll a saving throw for strength.
Oh, sweet summer child.
You feel your feet kind of scooting towards these things. They're telekinetically grabbing you. You have seen this. You bear in. You're able to spin around, get your bearings, and not go towards them.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you trying to telekinetically pull me towards you? Oh, that's totally not like last time either. Get some new tricks.
Shallot is so busy taunting that Sunny gets to go before him. Sunny, what do you do?
I saw that Morrison's arrow went like skittering off, I take it. I want to get my whip out, and what I want to do is like whip it out and try and do like a grapple with it on one of the statue dudes.
Go for it.
Does a natural 20 hit?
Let me check.
Damn.
Yeah, you tell me exactly what you want to have happen.
Alright, so the whip goes out and it like grabs onto around the gold bracelet, because I really like gold bracelet. And I'm just gonna yank, and I want to try and either pull him over to knock him prone, or just like bind his hands together or something. Because Sunny can't do physical damage against this guy, she's guessing, so she's going to try and stop him from doing his bad juju.
You yank on his arm, the golden bracers. The arms fly together. The golden bracers slip off, but instead of clattering to the floor, it's just like last time. There's a poof. Smoke. quickly dissipates and they're all but gone. The statue himself is still very much alive and tugging, struggling against you, and falls forward, arms bound, face into the floor. Do you do anything else?
No, that's it. That's all I'm gonna do.
Shallot, it is your turn. They are still pretty close to you, but you're able to resist them.
So this dusk elf that just jumped into the fray. Is he? Does it look like he's on our side?
Roll me some kind of charisma check. Maybe insight would work instead. It's up to you. Insight 21. This man, the same rank as the head of the guard, Casper, is definitely on your side. He is coming to help.
Okay. Shallot will cast Phantasmal Force on one of the giant creatures. The Ubshapti.
Is that not a saving throw it has to make?
Yep, and I will be spending a lore die to invoke Insidious Spell. As I do, Shallot's hands become like talons, horns on his head decide to like grow a little bit more, but they look like they're kind of arcing backwards to look more like ram's horns. And his eyes go that beautiful ram pupil slit, sideways slit. And that's a saving throw. 1d6. And he rolls a 2.
I forgot how that worked. I took a -4. That'll be a -3 instead because of your lore die, which only brings him to a 6, which is still not enough. So.
Yep. And he failed the save, so he takes 4d10. And then he'll take 4d10 every time he fails the same save on his turns until he breaks it. So 21.
21.
I do.
Though there's no physical damage being done to the statue, this seems to be a little bit more effective. This thing, whatever it is coherent enough in sound of mind enough that it's bothered when you do this kind of stuff. Strange for a construct.
You will bow to my will, and you will attack your friend, or I will shatter your mind. Fear me, or you'll be destroyed.
You can roll me an intimidate check.
Sweet.
A tempting offer.
It is not going to attack its friend, you can already tell, but it is afraid of you. On its turn, it'll probably do afraid things.
Mm-hmm. Sweet. Fantastic. Wunderbar.
What do you want?
Qual, it is our Dark Wizard's turn.
I sigh and shake my head and say, this nonsense again. Fine. Chaos Bolt. And I cast Chaos Bolt. So here comes a d20 roll. Oh my god. And I miss.
Qual is always caught off guard and he's just shooting shit up into the air.
Yeah, I just like, I turn every corner and I scream a little bit and I shoot blindly and close my eyes, is how this works.
It's like when you get so scared you pee a little, but you're throwing out a chaos bolt.
Yeah, except it's deadly magic.
Can I use a free action to turn to cool and yell something?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, I yell, embrace the sun and the shadows and aim true. While I'm busy yanking on the whip, because I forget that I'm still doing that.
Good advice. Should take
Can
it.
I use my natural 20 on this? Retroactively?
Yeah.
Yeah. I shoot that bolt off wildly, And I hear Sunny's advice, and I take a deep breath, and I steel myself, and I clutch the like handful of holy symbols that I've been carrying around, and I shoot another chaos bolt true at the creature in front of me.
Roll 2d8 plus 1d6. Choose one of the d8s. The number rolled on that die determines the attack's damage type.
In fact, it's 48 plus 2d6 now, because it's equipped. I'm at 20.
Oh.
All right, that is
You got-
26.
Oh,
4,
that's
5
a-
force damage.
7.
Force damage.
That is probably the safest bet. You feel inspired, turning your back on the shadows that you've always whispered to and have always been there to help you, and instead trying to embrace what little sunlight is poking in through the clouds, or maybe that little light inside of you. You think of the sun, you think of something back home that makes you feel warm. And which one do you attack?
One that's already been attacked. I'm trying to focus fire.
This thing is lying on the ground right in front of you, wiggling, struggling. It's an easy shot. And you can tell me where you want to blow a huge chunk of the statue apart.
I'm gonna aim right for its torso, the middle of its abdomen.
You see the marble floor, yet again, through the cavity in this thing's chest. Luckily for you, it's not living. At least not in the traditional sense. There's no organs, there's no blood and guts. There's broken marble and floor. This thing's mouth opens as if to scream, but it's just smooth, flat marble. It makes no noise. And I believe that will take us to the top of the round.
And it's my turn, right? Okay.
Para gets to do something really quick.
Oh.
You guys can see him throw a hand up into the air and grab onto nothing. He starts throwing his hand forward, and as he does, little plumes of smoke swirl around his hand, materializing an elven blade, a little dagger. It appears, he throws it. It strikes true on the one standing up, but just kind of bounces off and clatters to the side. As quickly as it came into existence, it fades and disappears into the ether yet again. Para looks surprised, and he claps his hands together, presumably to make something bigger than a dagger. But that is his turn, and we will return to Morrison.
Okay. So in that case, I go to the one nearest next to me, and I'm going to draw out my longsword. Because my bow and arrow is not particularly effective previously. I'm going to have a cut around. Die! Oh, that was so shit. Mate.
Are
7.
you attacking the one on the ground or the one still up on its feet?
Probably, I mean, to be honest, probably the one that was on its feet.
Then it is able to dodge you.
No.
But you're helping distract it for sure. Is there anything else you do? You run up, you're in this thing's face.
No, I'm not gonna go for the BOMBS plan yet. That's like an all-out, we're about to die plan. The more sand is just once again pretty ineffective.
I feel like in Mulan when she blows up the Emperor's Sea.
Exactly.
At the end.
Exactly. Yep, that's the end of my turn.
Okay, if Mawson's turn is over. Sunny. No, not Sunny, what am I thinking? Bad evil things. The first one is unable to get to his feet because he is an asshole.
Wow.
Morrison, what is your AC? I know a 7's not gonna hit.
My AC.
Use one of your nat 20s.
My AC's a 15. Damn it! Yeah, my AC's 15.
I have nat 20s. I'd forgotten.
You've got like 4 of
You're
them.
like 4 of them, right?
Oh, goodness. Morrison, friend,
Oh,
I
God.
need you, please, to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
Sorry, Will.
I'm gonna use. Wait, this is the bad touch, right?
This is the very bad touch.
This is. I don't want a bad touch. I'm gonna drop a nat 20 to prevent Strider from touching me. No! No bad touch, no bad touch.
You take 24 damage from this
Oh.
punch, and as the darkness tries to seep in through your skin to the very marrow of your bones, your very being, you tell it not today, and you're able to power through and not let this thing give you the taint touch.
I've got a total of 38 is my new max. So 38 minus 20, was it? 24?
24, yeah.
Woo! Math.
Wait, you have 38 HP?
Apparently. It's
Which
what my
dark god did you kiss?
It's what my overlay says. No,
Nice.
pretty dope. It's not the one thing I'm good at. It's like taking damage.
A single blow that would easily kill someone lesser. You feel bones in your sternum, maybe not break, but crack and fracture as this thing hits directly in the center of your torso. You are forced to take a few steps back, but you're standing and you resist the taint. Sonny, you have one down on the ground, one still standing. What do you do?
I...
That hurt.
Oh, did the one that is under Phantasmal Force go? Yep.
Yes, it did.
At the end of its turn, it has to take a Wisdom saving throw.
It does, doesn't it?
It misses. It takes 26 points of damage.
This thing is freaking out. Again, voiceless screaming. Fingers clawing at its face. You have no idea what you've made this thing see, but it's worse than most.
He looks at it. You will bow before me, and you will attack your friend, or you will die.
Roll me another intimidate check. Thrashing out, it does manage to hit Morrison because I used a nat 20.
Oh yeah, Hellish Rebuke. Hellish. How much Hellish Rebuke these days? D12, 2d12.
3d10.
3d10. Not even close. Good. Fuck! I just closed all my windows. Good job, Will.
It's okay. We're not.
I literally closed every single window and all of Google Chrome. I'm doing so well.
Morrison blips out for a second after that shattering punch to the chest.
So-
Can someone roll
Rebuke
3d10
anything.
for
Yeah,
me?
Strider, your dude needs to make a save versus Mawson's Charisma spell DC, which I'm guessing is pretty low.
some number. Very low, I would imagine.
And if it succeeds, it takes half that damage. If it doesn't, then it takes all of it.
It turns to attack its friend, and Morrison coughs. Blood coming out of his mouth? With a finger forward, flames descend upon this statue, and being rocked to the core by this psychic damage it's taking, you guys hear cracking. It sounds like ice in a glacier shattering. And it is reduced to a pile of rubble at your feet.
Aha!
I did something in
Good
this
job,
game.
Mawson.
Oh my god! I'm like, yes, that's what I do.
Qual, how are you going to manage to finish
Sometimes.
off this chest hold, tied up one on the ground?
I am going to cast Chill Touch, a cantrip, and I manifest a ghostly skeletal hand right by that fallen creature, which claws at it.
I'm
With
sorry,
a result of a nat 1.
For
Unfortunately.
my go, can I just keep him bound with my whip?
You don't need to roll Qual, you are able to cast this thing. It's Sunny's holding it still. This thing is immobile.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
prone.
thank God. Here it comes. That's 5 cold damage, 5 necrotic damage right there.
Fantastic.
Qual is focusing. He is not taking his eyes off of this thing. And perhaps only a little bit of frost graces its surface the first 5 seconds. But as 10 seconds, 15, 20 seconds go by, the ice starts forming around this thing. Its movement's slow. It finally stops moving, icicles dangling from its outstretched hand and from its open, screaming chin. Both of the creatures seemed to have stopped moving. Para stands up and kind of dusts himself off. I see we're under attack again. He is interrupted, clacking boots. You guys look up, and down the big marble staircase comes King Octavian. He's wearing his same dirty garb as he was 2-3 days ago. He has a sword on his side, marches up to you, looks at the statues on the ground.
Oh, Para, good job. But please excuse me. I have a dragon to kill.
And that is where we're going to stop this session.
Very
Only
nice.
2 minutes over. Still an ominous cliffhanger ending.
Oh my
Indeed.
God.
Bum, bum, bum.
Amazing, amazing. Well, that, my friend, is all we're gonna have to. I know, yeah. Don't really know, but that's what we're gonna have to wrap up tonight's session of Sands of Zehir. Was it episode 6? Episode 6, maybe. Goodness, that was a lot of fun. 4? Was it really just 4? Was that
Yeah.
week
We missed
4?
one.
We missed
that was
one.
episode 4, yeah.
No. Oh, did we start a
Feels-
week? Did we start a week later on? I don't remember because we're on like episode 6.
We missed one.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Math happened, but please don't hate me. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that one. I actually did something as Morsan, which I think is the first thing that I've probably ever hit or done any damage to. So, nailed it. Absolutely fucking nailed it. But yeah, we're gonna wrap up today. Let's go around the cast and crew. Do we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys online? The star of our very own Strider Heap. Great job today, Strider. What do you think?
Chat has bared with us through technical difficulties, quiet microphones, and twitchy internet, and I appreciate it. This computer will be set up and ready to go next week. This group is great. Never getting quite as far as I had envisioned. I thought we would have need for this map and for questing and homesteading, and I've been promising that for a long time, but I am sure next week we get to watch this beautiful group of weirdos try to rule a homestead city together. I'm excited. It's going to be fun. Catch me here next week.
Amazing, amazing. Let's go around in reverse order. So, Zippy.
Hi, I'm Zippy Zippo here on Twitch. You can find me at Zippy_Zippo, where I do a lot of variety gaming. And I just like playing video games. I absolutely enjoyed my time here. I always love playing Shallot. And yeah, super great campaign.
Great stuff, great stuff. Charlie.
I'm Frost and Fire on Twitter. I'll be playing D&D again tomorrow on Young Jinxie's channel. This game is amazing. It's like a highlight of the week as we plunge into chaos every time, and chat finds something new and horrible to do to us, and Strider plays it out before us in technicolored nightmare. That's beautiful.
Absolutely, absolutely. And last but not least, James.
What a crazy, unpredictable roller coaster of a campaign this is. I'm a game designer. I work for D&D. I create role-playing games, especially with 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. You can find me and all the stuff I do at James J. Hake on twitter.com.
Amazing, amazing. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. I'll be back next week with another episode of Sands of Zehir. Can't wait for it, guys. Really looking forward to it. And of course, back online tomorrow at the time of 1 p.m. Eastern for Tales from the Twisted Tower, followed by the Great Gallery of Grundrundi. Come along, play games with us. Every Thursday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, you guys can come along, play D&D with me. It's going to be a blast. But until next time, try not to throw too many net ones because we're going to be here laughing when you do. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Later.